Yo guys, how you doing? We are back, we are alive, even if that is just barely. That was a really tough weekend. Like, really tough weekend. The last Necronathon was nowhere near as hard as that. I have no idea why that was so draining or so catastrophic on my voice, basically. Too Many Sprues, thank you very much for that sub. Much love, dude. 11 months, nearly a year now. What an absolute boss. In the chat, we've got many of you. Ray, 1982, thank you for that sub. 3 months now, bro. Loving it. We got Viking, Gumbalina, the Johnsonator, Nick McDade, Hairstyle Sarah, Sergeant Rolf, Dares, AJC72, I'll print you one main unit, Scrublord, Crownblade, Snake Plissken, Looming Death, Stu Flynn, Ray, of course, 1982, The Crooked Grin, getting old, how about you shove it, Siamat, thank you for that, much appreciated, MC6117, we did fight until the end, almost the end. We stopped 2 hours early. Danny, thank you for that host. Red Dragon Minis, how you doing? And Balance Lost Arms. First off, I want to say a humongous thank you to every single person that gave us a host over the weekend. The viewership that we had, I 100% attribute to you guys. I genuinely do. Getting those hosts helped the stream become visible. Got the stream, apparently, to the front page. Gotta love that. And so, as a result, we had a average viewership on our Sunday stream. Even though we ended up with a significant amount of time with 130 viewers from about 2 in the morning all the way through to 8 a.m. Even though we had that, our average viewership was still 175 over 22 hours of streaming. The fuck? It was outstanding. So huge thank you to everybody for that. Really appreciate it. Now, speaking of appreciation, if we just pop those to one side. Boom. Giveaway is open. Because I didn't get to give away all the things I wanted to give away at the weekend, so we have 2 prizes up for grabs tonight. 2. First one is this guy. This, you may notice, is not the one from the Necronathon 2. He's not finished. Can't really give that one away. That would be a bit of a shitty price. Have a half-finished miniature. That's no good. This is one of the ones from the original Necronathon. This guy's looking like an absolute boss. So there's one of the prizes. And then we've also got some tokens, widgets, score counter set from Strata Miniatures to give away. And the very last of the Rival Crafts basing bundles to give away as well. And so we're going to give away all of that as one prize. Congratulations, start prize. There's everything. Exclamation point Scorp. No need to be a subscriber. This is open to everybody. No, Danny, you did get it. But, we've gone through all of Discord and sorted out every single... Nick, thank you for that host. And Looks like Bitter Brush coming in with a raid as well. Thank you very much. How are you doing? How's your stream, dude? What'd you get up to? Just double check. I'm already following you, I think. Yeah, I thought it was. Excellent. So you guys are coming at the right time. We've got a giveaway going on. Doing good, bro. Good stream. Worked on my commissions, then beat the Eldar in Valheim. Oh, nice. Nice. My housemate plays that. He's big fan. Big fan. So this guy is being given away along with the basing bundle and the Necron-themed token and widget set. Exclamation point Scorp to get in on the action for that. Then, that's not the only giveaway we haven't done yet. We haven't done the draw for our Patreon video viewer or higher tier Second Life. So one of these minis is going to get given away as well. So there you go. 2 minis being given away tonight. One from this set and that Scorpec Lord. And I think that what we're going to do in future is do end of the month giveaway on the end of the month. And then start of the month giveaway will be the Patreon draw. Because that way, anyone that becomes a Patreon because they want to enter this to win one of these minis perhaps is guaranteed to get a month's worth of subscription. So I think that's the right way to do it. So if you want to get in on this, exclamation point Patreon, go and be a video viewer or higher tier, and you could win that. All we do is do a prize draw, or do a random number, look at the list of Patreons that we've got, and there we go. But that's not all when it comes to giveaways. God, the admin today. We're at 7 minutes in and I haven't even touched a brush. We've got one more thing to discuss as a community. Arrow, that's the base. One more thing to discuss as a community, which is the 2-year anniversary, the Streamiversary celebration. Where we're giving away an army. Now, over the last month, we'll say, I've had you guys, the community as a whole, choosing some lists. And so we've had, if we just going to pop into the mods channel because we've got the top 5 in there. We've gone down to 5 lists. Here they are. So we've had Ichu's Tyrannid list, Ichu's Tau list, Dez's Salamanders, and then 2 that I wrote, a Sisters of Battle list and a Space Wolves Dreadnought spam list. Sarah, how you doing? Pro Jam, we're okay for now, but it was rough. I keep, and again I move and something clicks and like, we're done. Danny, yes, I was saying something about Discord. Basically, everyone that sent me a message on Discord, I've sorted of that out. We've just got the rest of the prizes that weren't from there to sort out. Honor Sanguinius, thank you very much. Now, what I've done is I've taken these 5 lists and we've decided we're going to get these ready now for our giveaway. So here's Ichu's Tyrannids list. Wait. That looks different. Before, wasn't it just like 1 Neurithrope, 9 Warriors, 3 Zonethropes, and a Carnifex? What? Why is it now a battalion of Tyranids with Old One Eye, 5 Zonethropes, and some Rippers thrown in? Here's a tile list that he wrote. Well, hang on a minute. That guy wasn't there before. That unit of Fire Warriors wasn't there before. What's going on? There's his Salamanders list. It's become a Vanguard detachment. So instead of it being just Adrax, some Assault Intercessors, some Flame Aggressors, and a Warsuit, plus some Eradicators, there's an Ironclad in there. The Sisters of Battle list that we wrote is a Canoness, a Battle Sister squad, a Repentia Superior, some Repentia, a Celestian squad, and the Rhino. And the Space Wolf list is Bjorn, some Assault Intercessors, Murder Fang, and 2 Ven Dreads for a total of 4 Dreadnoughts in that list. Now, this, I'm going to have a quick link to this in the Streamiversary lists. And in here, anyone that wants to go and have a good look at them before we create a straw poll can go and do so now. The reason we're doing this is, if you guys can see anything that you think, actually, you're not going to be able to get those weapons in there, or you've armed it with this weapon, but like this is just actually better, or like whatever else, go and take a look. And then for the next stream on Thursday, we'll have the poll up and running. We'll run the poll for several weeks, make sure that everyone can vote. And the top army from there will get used for our birthday celebration. I mean, I'm thinking Ripper's Forge Rod, dude. Right. Let's get working on our Ork. So in the last stream, we did most of this guy. We've still got some highlights to do on things like the gold, the brass, the copper, all that sort of stuff. We've got things like a skull to paint. And then Nickit as well needs some love. He's going to get his base finished. We've got a little design on his bag to do. There's plenty of highlights all on these bits, and his metal haven't been done either. So there's plenty to do on Nickit. The first thing we're going to do actually is on Nickit. Thought about Retributor Squad. The reason we didn't, and went with the units that we've got, is because you can buy a box of Battle Sisters, make a regular unit of troops and a Celestian squad, all out of one box. Joel, how you doing? So starting off, some burnt umber, a slightly dead brush, and we're just popping this all over Nickit's base. Mesh about the voucher, trying to work. There's no need. It's just today, that was as far as I got, was clearing all notifications in Discord. Don't worry, you'll get it. It was cool. Just going to point out that yesterday, I basically couldn't do anything. We tried. And in the evening, I needed to make time for Jackie. Be there for her. So today has been me trying to catch up on not being able to do anything yesterday. Get some admin done. Pack up a load of prizes. My head's not up my arse, but thanks for that comment. Has been a busy few days though, mate. Right, there we go. That can dry down now, sealing in all of that basic material. We can get on with this dude. So let's highlight all of that brass / copper We're just going to do it very simply with copper and some silver, just to mix. Wampsaurus. We're doing okay. Still kind of croaky. Still a little bit tired. And I can safely say, after eating nothing but basically cold pizza and sugary snacks to stay awake, that my guts are doing hula hoops around my ass. So Jackie is understandably upset, despite the fact that we've all sort of known it's coming. It's still not ever really a good thing, is it? You know. So yeah, she's sort of feeling it a bit. She's trying to stay busy, and she'll be alright. She'll be okay. But anyway, how is the chat? Most of you guys tuned in for a significant amount of time this weekend. You guys get a lot done? There's plenty of you painting along. Yeah, I can't believe it, totally. Viking, you did barely leave the stream. It was both impressive and worrying. Too many sprays? No worries, dude. You started 5 Vanguard vets. It's alright, I started 96 Necrons. I didn't finish any minis either, dude. Don't worry. Shorts on YouTube, they're a great idea. It's really weird seeing you from video 1. Yeah, I know. You read the meets we spent yesterday, or we still have those tickets? E.T., you only use those for the end of the month stream. That's it. That's the only time you ever need to worry about those. So any that you spent was spent in the right way. I'm not entirely certain what you're asking. Gambling, nice. Good to know those Dark Elder are coming along strong. Codex in, 3 weeks? So that's not bad. Crooked Grin, superstar. The building of the night and got to the point of needing magnets for the guns. She's now on the way. Nice. Nice. Yeah, Sarah, thank you very much. I mean, I'll pass on your well wishes. She'll be very appreciative. I think probably the support. Not as strong. I saw Danny. Yeah, good work. Good work indeed, mate. Zlatan Simatovic, thank you very much for that Patreon subscription. You're now going to be eligible for that draw later on, but you could win yourself either the Shock Jump Dragster or the Lord of Virulence. Bensoners, how you doing? And thanks for looking for those cards for me, by the way, as well. I really appreciate that. It's really cool of you. Much appreciated. Rested up. I mean, we've had lots of sleep. AJ, doing well, dude. Doing well. Got your Abominant all packed up and ready to ship. Hopefully, be able to get down to the post office tomorrow to Send all that. Pitio. What up? Must have missed the model draw. What was in the box? In the box was the undead man on horse from Sigma. The big winged ghost horse. Apparently it's like a 40 quid mini. God bless Warhammer Realms. God bless Warhammer Realms. Dates of the weekend birthday stream is last weekend of April. I was doing what I call hobby admin while watching. You made a dent and transfer my paints, categorizing half completed projects, create a Trello task board to implement all my tasks in a structured way. Thanks for making hobby admin more bearable, informative every stream. Nice. Is it 25 quid? Ah, whatever. I think someone said it was 40. Right, damn, got that cheap. Mercurial AJ, what are you doing, dude? Superstar. Got Mercurial Vox and Soda Tea Addict, both being given a sub by AJ. There's only a couple of you. Get them meeps awarded now. There you go. Danny, that has been for ages. It's called something Imperium, I think. George, doing okay, dude. Tired still from the weekend, but we're good. Video on YouTube with your Knights vs Nine Hands. Next time Gina or I'm going to try to save a match at home. They're like fun. It is fun. Like, I love playing Knights. We have another chat today with another country's WTC Knight player that was like, hey, do you mind if I pick your brain about this Knight list I've been thinking of running? Well, let's have a look, shall we? And it's a fun looking list. Give me some pointers. It is a fun list. His whole shtick was no one plays Knights, and so no one practices against Knights, which means that is this going to catch a few people out? Like, not really. Everyone's seen a Knight list on a table at some point. And just because all your shit comes from Forge World doesn't mean anything anymore. But this one was triple Megara, triple Warglaive and Halvarin, which isn't a bad list. I told him that I think he's teched a little bit too much into just dealing with Death Guard. Craft Swords can be good. If you know what you're doing with Craft Swords, it really can be good. And George, that's awesome, bro. Gotta love that Iowata, man. That's some high-tech, ultra-reliable airbrush right there. Gumberlin, do you see the complete lack of like facial change there? What can I say? Your punch just bugged me. Alright, just going to drop a little bit of strong tone on that and then draw it down quick. So, for those of you wondering when the Necrons are going to get finished, at the end of end of this month, we were going to do a weekend where we painted the Death Watch. We're going to start on them. And we can't really do that now because we've got the crons to do. So we're not going to do that. We will have, by that point... Hey! Brett Ford! Thank you, dude. They're getting involved on Patreon as well. Much love. Remember, anyone that's a video viewer or higher tier can get involved in that giveaway, where you can pick up either the Lord of Virulence or Shock Jump Dragster, painted by me in a colour scheme of your choice. Hester Sarah, didn't hear that, but maybe. No, George, mystery box is subscriber only, and that was taken anyway over the weekend. Right. Can't be asked to pick up grey. I have both of these two. Oh wait, do I have a grey? We've got a grey. Yeah. Can't just pick up light grey. We've just got that. Yes, George, I'm aware. No, George, I don't. So the end of the month draw, which took place around midnight on Sunday, the mystery box was taken. And even if the subscriber that wins that contest even if they choose something other than the mystery box, the Patreon member can't have the mystery box. I mean, listen, dude, you say 23 months. Your badge says 22. Come on, George. Oh, God, I love winding you up, mate. I really do. Everyone needs a hobby. That one's mine. Right, with your Eclipse, by the way, the first thing you need to do is just assemble it, disassemble it, assemble it, disassemble it. That's it. Alright, there's that command. Doing a good job of hiding that. Just practice with it, mate, and then get some water through it and just make patterns. It will be very different to your old airbrush. And it should be. Let's be honest. Comradson! What up, bro? Oh shit, AJ, sorry I missed your message. What new paints are you recommending? Can't wait for them to arrive and try them out. Cheapo airbrush. Ordered to get used to techniques for a pull plug on a decent one, as well as drop a box transforming Cheeto paints into. Nice. Honestly, Joy, you won't need a guide. The assembly is so intuitive. Like, it's mad. Like, the first time I took mine apart, I laid everything out in place just to be sure that whatever it is that I was gonna attempt to put it away in, like, back together in whatever order, I'd know, like, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh part. But honestly, you put it together so easily. Everything is obvious. There's nothing there that is designed to catch you out at all. He is awake. He is awake. Slept a lot yesterday, as you can imagine. God, it was a rough day yesterday. As you can tell, my voice is still not Jay's anime power move. Iwata Eclipse 5th configuration. Base coating go. Brilliant. Yizzy2K, cheers for the follow. Dreadfear, how you doing? Crooked Green, thank you for that host. Again, huge thank you to everyone hosting. That is a phenomenal way to support a streamer. Cheers, AJ. After this, what are we going to do? We're going to do... Got a little bit of highlight to do on that not quite loincloth thing he's got going on there. Not a bad question to say, a mine that isn't hallucinating. SW Miniatures. Are you on mobile or on desktop? And Des will know, put it that way. What we should probably do, Des, is get an exclamation point host command. Can we get an exclamation point host? Yes, sorry, yeah. SW, Pearl Jam, and Jason, all of you guys coming in with the host. They're legendary. Thank you very much. Also, I'm really, really, really hoping there's AJ and Dreadfear as well. I'd hug all of you. George is hosting too. I'd even hug you, George. We've hugged before. Let's hug again. Badasses, every one of you. I wonder if we can get a command that will make you host. Let's make host. Bam, done. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, there's a website out there, Twitch Statistics or something like that, I think it's called, that I didn't know existed until last Monday. And Mikey, George, thank you very much, man. Keep that hug to yourself. Have some bits instead. Sounds good to me. What isn't like about Harder and Steenbeck Infinity, Jay? You either got on. That's the one with either the 0.4 or the 0.2 needle, right? 0.4 is slightly too big. The 0.2 is slightly too small. For like general use, it's like if you took a size 2 brush and tried painting everything with that, you'd have some real hard time over the details. If you took a size 00 brush and tried to paint everything with that, it would take half a forever. But for me, it's less that I dislike that airbrush, and more that I like the Iwata more. So the Iwata, like I've said several times, is like the AK-47 airbrushes. You just use it, and it's reliable, super reliable. Dreadfear, no worries. They do a 1.5 too. Yeah, I've seen. And their 1.5 isn't particularly expensive. It's certainly a lot cheaper than Vallejo's 1.5 offering, which is about 2.5 times the price. So many hosts. Gumbalina, Stooflin, Jolt. Don't think I'm MC, Remnants, Her Salcero. Everyone loving it. Georgia, it'll work after being in the freezer, almost for sure. Like, please don't do it, but I can't see any reason why it wouldn't work after that. Very few moving parts, and if you leave them up, you're good to go. Klashnik, brilliant. The host from PC, you should just be able to type in /host, And then, I don't know. Right. That's him pretty much done. We've got a few bits like these teeth to do, this skull to do, highlights on these little pouches to do. Over here on Nick It, a little bit of silver highlight to do. George, you take care, man. Thanks very much for dropping by. We'll see you soon. Have fun with that eclipse tomorrow. Let me know how you get on. Cool beans. Right, let's work on his little sack of whatever. Got some Xandri dust, that'll do. And got some sickly skin on the palette we can lighten that with, so that's fine. Salsero, absolute superstar. Exploding fruit, what's the code for? Type in, find out. See what happens. Could be good, could be bad. If it's bad. What if it's bad? I mean, almost. That's okay, I'm afraid, dude. My handwriting is not amazing. We'll make that ever so slightly clearer. Hopefully that is clearer. There you go. It's alright, mate. My handwriting not the best ever. Nice one, Des. What we're gonna do? Grab all that and go to commands. And now, if you're not sure how to host, put in !host, and you'll have the info. Sarah, thank you for the host as well. God, Twitch must be thinking, what the fuck is going on in this dude's stream? Haven't heard back yet about the partnership application, but I was heading along to talking about that. I've got high hopes. The reason I've got high hopes is because Mikey turned me on to this website called Twitch Statistics last Monday, and he was in something like the 0.7th percentile of all Twitch streamers. I can't remember what his rank was, but it was 60, 70,000, something like that. Out of all Twitch streamers. So imagine it, if you're in the top 1% of all Twitch streamers, yet your numeric rank out of all Twitch streamers is about 60 or 70,000. I mean, damn. That's mad. So I asked him about mine, and he looked it up, and we were in the top 0.3% of all streamers. And we were ranked 28,000th. Well, yesterday I thought, let's just have a look again. Let's see if the weekend has changed that at all. Who knows? We're in the 23,000ths. Lord Gitface! Thank you very much, bro. And the person that got me into streaming in the first place, so I very much look up to and admire, girl Kenny Boucher of Next Level Painting, is in the 22,000th. So we're something like 500 to 700 away from Next Level Painting. We're almost 100 viewers on a Tuesday. Yes, we are. Oh, yeah. Now, Kenny's a partner. And unfortunately, I didn't get much chance to look at other people, but I'm really hoping if we're that close, we can make it. On a Sanguinius! Cheers for that host. We must have like 70 hosts. It's crazy. Tony Montana, I really am, dude. Kenny's great, absolutely. And he's a phenomenal personality. I love the guy to bits. Absolutely love the guy to bits. He's just one of those people you can't help but like, you know? Right, thinning this down just a touch more. It's not quite a glaze. Just looking to get some highlights on this bag. So for those of you that have just arrived, tonight we've got 2 giveaways. Giving away 2 minis. First one is Exclamation Point Scorp, where you can win one of the Scorpec Lords that we've painted up for our Necron army. It was going to be the one from the weekend, but obviously that didn't get finished. And so, here he is. You could literally have this dude. I love these. They're fucking sick. They look absolutely terrifying. So this guy's up for grabs. But not only is he up for grabs, the Strata Miniatures tokens and widget set, the score and turn tracker, and I'm going to hide the thing. Oh wait, you've kind of seen it now. You might not have seen it. The last of our Rival Crafts basing bundles is also there. So you're going to win a basing bundle, your tokens, and this Scorpec Lord. And you don't even need to be a subscriber to win. Absolutely not. The incredible generosity that we were shown over the weekend meant that all of the giveaways were basically paid for by everyone giving subs. Here you go. Forks up, no, we haven't. Whip is always the last part of the stream. And we'll only look at stuff that's posted during the stream as well. So if you've got something you'd like us to have a look at, then post it between now and, say, 11-ish. That'd be the best thing to do. Mada! Cheers for the host. Is it bad I'm mainly liking the basing kit over the rest? I mean, if you don't want the Scorpec Lord, I'm sure you could give it to somebody else. You know. It's the sort of thing that's useful to anybody. If you don't play Necrons or have got no interest in playing Necrons at all, then the rest is less good for you. Although the tokens for anyone that plays 40k, that's not bad. You know? Curious to see who the Patreon winner was. Well, Exploding Fruit, we haven't done that yet, because that's the other giveaway we've got tonight. Decided, this makes a lot of sense to me, that at the end of the month stream we do a subscriber only giveaway, and at the start of the month stream we do the Patreon giveaway. Now I was going to do this between sort of 8 and 10 AM, and frankly we didn't stream past 8. I was done. I just could not continue. So one Patreon that is a video viewer or higher, as long as they signed up for it and they're on the list today, they get to choose either of these two. Dave! Just subbing off to bed. I'm up early for work, mate. Thank you so much. A little flyby subscription. Oh, man. Breaking everything out of the jar. Loving it. It is 10:45 in the evening, 21:45. So the Patreon draw is up tonight. Exclamation point Patreon if you'd like a chance at one of those. And of course, this way you get an entire month's worth of access to Patreon as well. So no chance of someone getting shortchanged on that one. Happy days. Right, let's do these little bags and search. Let's grab some. Got some more burnt umber. Got some Xandri dust. That will do. Yeah, that's a highlight color. That's good. Feeling lucky? Awesome. It's a bit late. It's not that late. Not considering that we've got like 2¼ hours or so of stream to do. So, Jorgolian, thank you for the follow. We're starting to close in towards 3,500 followers as well, which is pretty damn epic. Wasn't that long ago we were like, come on, just a couple more for 3,000. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. We're nearly there. And now we're nearly at the next little milestone. Feeling lucky too, unless Rose in the chat. Yeah, I know, right? He absolutely smashed it. Clash ended here in the former colonies, and now doing Orks. Nice. Yeah, this is going to be the finale for these guys. This is one of the last month's giveaways. Sorry, not last month's giveaways, the months before's giveaways. And due to the amount of time we spent on the Abominant, didn't get around to finishing these. And then, of course, with the Necronothon, couldn't finish them at the weekend prior to this month happening. So, you know, it's one of those. But yeah, it's a cool mini. I really, really like it. A lot of character. It's just overall pretty damn cool. And that's even before we start doing the like 90s era tracksuit camo pattern, you know. At that point, it's just, why not? So who's doing some painting this evening? I have a Twitter follower giveaway going on currently. If anybody wants to be in it to win it, nice. What are you giving away, and what have people got to do, Sarah? Love how the weekend remotivated and inspired me to paint too. Nice, good stuff. Good stuff. That's what we like to hear. If we can get people doing some painting, as far as I'm concerned, that's a win. Doesn't matter what you're painting. Just do some painting. Admittedly, if you've like got the Dulux out because you've got some walls that need painting, that's a different animal, but it's still good. Still good. Second highlight now. All of those. Doing homework? Hey, gotta do what you gotta do, bro. Alright, people in the chat. I've assigned homework to, they better be doing their assignments. Otherwise, they'll be writing out lines, except they'll be writing out lines with their airbrush. Tony Montana, nice, dude. Look at my witches, I need to double my total count though. Oof. Whew. That's a lot of work. If it makes you feel any better, I know a guy called Rude, who is a Dutch friend of mine, that wrote a list for 8th edition that was 120 witches, 60 racks, and then just some succubi. Is it succubi? No, is succubi the hero? Or was that just the squad hero? I can't remember. But yeah, a couple of witch characters and a couple of homunculus. I was like, go on, I'm just going to throw this at the table. You've got to kill 240 models. All of which have got an invulnerable save, whether they're in combat. Maybe that's got to be what they do. To receive that invulnerable save. And you can't fall back for some of them. And I've got OBSEC on all of it. So, Hecatrix is that's it. Thank you. So yeah, that's a fucking horrible list. Not entirely certain that lists like that are going to work so well these days. Like the Gaunt Carpet, you don't hear about that so much anymore, do you? If you're Insta and was wondering what are the hardest commissions you've completed. Ooh, good question. The Necron Pylon, definitely one of them, because that was fully assembled when we were painting it. Liquid Snake, 420, thank you for that follow. Maybe went up to 50. 50, I think, looks like a good number. No, never painted a Lord Discordant, and frankly I don't really want to. Just the sort of PTSD flashbacks of those horrible fucking things murdering my knights for all of 8th edition. I literally never won a game if there was a Lord Discordant on the table. That's it, that shows how balanced they were, right? Talent 4, all recovered. Voice is a bit croaky, still feel a little like, but otherwise, yes, recovered. Like certainly by tomorrow, I'll be absolutely fine. Completely, like 100%. No worries about that whatsoever. Alright, let's paint this skull. It's weird. So all this is currently is a mixture of Xandri dust and Vallejo burnt umber. That's all. So is all the highlights on this, by the way. Get a lot done with just some variations on Brown's bones, things like that. That's what we've got to do. We've got to do all of the sort of blue fur we're going to do. We're going to do an off-white fur. I'm going to start adding in some sickly skin to this. What else have we done that is a difficult commission? Mortarion was unfun. Didn't enjoy that because we had to assemble half of it, and it just became a pain in the ass. I didn't enjoy some of like the Loyal 32 commissions I've had to do. Ugh. But that's just boring. Like Cadian infantry aren't fun to paint anyway because they're just dull. And B, you're just doing the same all over again. But they were for Mikey for Hellstorm, so we ended up having some fun with them at the end. And I gave anyone that had a pair of sunglasses, like a pair of basically Ray-Bans, with like the red reflective thing going on. So that was fun. What else? What else have we done that was just like... Oof. I've had a couple of people I've worked for that have made things a little bit difficult. I'm not going to mention any names because that's unprofessional. But certainly there's been a few things that I've done paint-wise, so I've just been like, this is fine. The paint scheme is good and everything we're doing is good, but this guy's just a bit hard to work with. Gambling, no, they were wearing too much clothes, but yes, kind of thing. Nice, what's that? Yeah, that's the sort of thing that makes a commission tricky, is when your client's just difficult to communicate with. Because you've got to get on the same page with the commission. If you can't, then it's just tough. Thick Oz, how you doing, bro? Like, you're trying to go one way, and if they don't understand your vision and you're not able to have that chat with them, then it's just difficult. Right, pretty sure I'm gonna go a little brighter with that skull. But then we've just got the little fluff bits around his boots and so on to do, and he's done. Noise. Lethal Styles, what are your favourite highlights from the weekend? Oh man, the Swoldemort moment. Like, I've had that line fucking just on loop in my head every now and again since then. That was hilarious. Meteos, just got some Thai. What do you think about them? Any tips? I think that's going to be rough. From what star? But my relationship managed not to use my mini mat, which with water around 50 fixed my airbrush, wasn't having it. Gave it a go. That's mate. Why did you mix it with water? Probably one of the best things to use would be Vallejo airbrush thinner, not flow improver. Movies described badly, that was fun. What was a Swoldemort? You're going to have to watch the entirety of the Twitch pod to find that one out, but there was a clip for it. Like I don't like doing metallics on Tau at all. I don't think. I think most Tau stuff in my head, like the canon in my head, is made of plastic. So as a result, I just wouldn't even use metallic paint. Yeah, that's my thing. But 500 views at 3 AM. You get 500 views? I don't think you got 500 views. We did it with a big raid. But that was Studio J7. We were at like high 300s for a while. Oh god, that hype train. I was lost. Like, I genuinely didn't know what to do or what to say for that. And Matt messaged me. And he's just like, here's why. I'm very, very, very touched by it. So. Guy's just had a family holiday in Mexico where he's been unable to leave the hotel. Right, fucking dream vacation for me is going to Mexico. Nightmare vacation is not leaving a resort. No, I think my vacations are the best, dude. I think your vacations probably don't have enough mohawk to make them the best. I think you're in just desperate need of more mohawk. So. Who explained to Sarah what a waffle stomp was? Yeah, I know. He's in Hotel California. Well, he checked out and he has now left, so not quite. I didn't want to ask about the mirrors on the ceiling. Was in Mexico, might have killed a beast. Yeah. You treat yourself to the new Black Library model? No. You sure we'll go to the next Las Vegas Open? Well, I'm going. You can wave at me from like table 900 or whatever, and I'll be up there, like just crushing Nick Nanavati at the table 1. We'll do it. In fact, no. Nick gets a pass. John Lennon's going to get absolutely just destroyed on table 1 for putting knights in D tier on the. Still haven't forgotten that, Lennon. If you're listening, we remember. Yeah, Vegas 2021, that's obviously on the cards. And then also a holiday to see my brother in Colorado just after the tournament. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I get rocked really fast and beat out the tourney. Well, maybe. It's like because elephants never forget. Listen, mate. Just because I've got a trunk like that does not mean I'm an elephant. Cool beans. I've just noticed a buckle. Get done as well. Is that your brand demo? Yeah. Yeah. It's the fact you're swole as an elephant. That's just rude. Pinkill TV. Dude, thanks for that little raid. She's never complained, but she's always moaned. How you doing, man? How's your stream? Tilts, what up? Those of you who just come in, Space Point Scorp, doing a giveaway. Don't have to be a subscriber. No entry requirements other than that you are here. That's all. Come and join in the fun. Giving away a Scorpec Lord We're also giving away a Rival Crafts Basin bundle and some Strata miniatures, tokens, widgets, and score counter. These are the prizes we didn't get a chance to give away over the weekend. Rather than sort of save them for the next big stream, I still wanted to give them away. It's extremely generous gifts over the weekend, so can't not give back. That's the rule. Right, we need. Great to get down. At the end of the weekend, we crashed and burned at 8 o'clock, mate. I just could not do any more at that point. I was absolutely blasted. Just nothing left in the tank. Nothing left in the tank whatsoever. So we've done, and we'll finish these at the end of the month. So we have done every single step that needs to be done, with the exception of like tufts and the base rims. We'll ignore that. We need to highlight the blackstone. I found a couple of bits of OSL that I missed, like small bits on the menus. They need to be done. And if I want me to redo the OSL on those anyway, and re-highlight after we've highlighted the blackstone. So we've got highlight in blackstone, brush highlight in silver, brush highlight in red. To do that's it. It's all we need to do. It's not bad. Then it's just, like I said, base rims, tufts, and then potentially get pigments on the bases. That would be the ideal thing, right? So at the end of this month, the last weekend of this month, which is the 27th and 28th again, because March and February follow the same schedule. But that's not the end of the month giveaway stream. That'll be the Tuesday night. We're going to do that then instead of working on Death Watch for a weekend stream. So at the end of every month, we're going to do a stream. It's not always going to be a mad endurance stream. Okay? It's not going to be this time. This time we'll go for probably 10 to 12 hours both days. Probably closer to 12, especially on the Sunday. We'll finish around midnight, our usual sort of time. I'm going to do that every month. Okay, there won't always be crazy giveaways. Okay, obviously we'll save up to have that happen. We'll try and give away something. It does mean that between now and then, I might be able to get the other two Cryptex, the Chronomancers I've got on the way built. I've managed to get hold of one of the set of 5. Mr. Nick McDade, I don't know if you're in the chat or not. Did you say you were picking up a box of the kill team every month until the tournament start back up? I mean, that's probably it. Not gonna lie. Tournaments are important to me. But yeah, Nick, if you've got a kill team box that you didn't want some flayed ones from, that'd be cool. Nemod! Thank you very much, man. 4 more months for my anniversary. Yeah, bro. It's gonna happen soon. But we might be able to get 20 flayed ones plus the Cryptex done during that stream as well. 20 minis start to finish, that's not so bad. It's when it's like up to 100. That's when it starts to get a little bit crazy, right? Codykins 907, cheers for the follow. So yeah, Necron stream, end of the month. Get all those guys sorted out. And if we get through it quick enough, then we could take all of the Necrons that we worked on previously and start the pigments on the bases throughout everything as well. Bad Drip, hey man, how's it going? Going well, dude. Going well. How about yourself? We're recovering okay from the Necronathon. How does giveaway work and what's given away? Type in this. The prize for the giveaway is a basing bundle from Rival Crafts. Contents will be shown after the draw has happened. A set of tokens from Strata Miniatures and this Scorpec Lord. And then after that has been given away, and that will probably be given away somewhere around 11 o'clock or so, we've got our Patreon video viewer or higher membership giveaway, which is for a Shock Jump Dragster or the Lord of Virulence painted by me in a colour scheme of the winner's choice. That's it. That's the thing. So if you'd like to be in with a chance to win either of those, !Point Patreon, and then go and pledge at video viewer or higher. This way you're going to get a month's worth of subscription out of it. You'll get to see the videos, read the guides to paint exactly how I paint. Put up 5 new guides last week, and every week before that has had at least one guide. Yeah, definitely does. In fact, put a link to it in the chat here if you want. I did ask what she was giving away. I haven't seen her message, so apologies if I missed it, but it would have been cool. Not going into the giveaway, ready for some sleep. Wanted to thank you for the weekend entertainment. It was really good. Ah, cheers, brother. Thank you very much. I had a lot of fun. It was tough. I mean, fuck me, it was tough. Especially when you know you failed. Like when you know there's absolutely no chance of you finishing what you started, then it's tough to keep motivated. The demoralization sets in, and you're like, well, what's the point in this? I should just go to bed. You know, I could have been doing X, Y, Z with my weekend instead. And it's a very difficult thing to get that negativity pushed back and get on with things. How many points do you reckon you finished? We didn't actually finish any. There were no brushed highlights done. We got up to the Recess Shade on nearly everything. We didn't do the Doomstalkers, the Silent King's Throne, the Spiders, or the Doom Scythes. That was it. Everything else got done though. And we just needed to get the highlight stages done, basically. I played my 5th week today and I'm hooked. Cody Kins, loads, bro. You think you'd have seen Nick offer a box of meat? God, a hot meal would have gone a long way. A long way. Digiberg, I mean, no. Basically. If I want an army to look shit, then sure, we'll grab Lead Belcher and we'll use some Nolan oil, which is by far one of the worst black wash products that the market has to offer. And then we'll get a dry brush, and congratulations, I've painted an army in about 2.5 hours that just looks fucking terrible. I could have done that, you're right. But no. My crons look, well, I mean, here you are. I would consider this a badly painted mini. There's not a lot of finesse. There's not a lot of good to say about it. Admittedly, this is one of the more impressively badly painted minis because he's got all of the extra glowy stuff and so on. But this is not a good finish. You know, not a good job. It's adequate for the tabletop, and that's about all I can say. This one doesn't even have tuft on his base. So yeah, got that to do too. Mobsaurus, that's very kind of you. As a pretty new player, how do you know when a mini is done painted? How do you know when to stop? I can't afford to buy a lot of different shades. As an artist, I've never finished a miniature. That's a way to look at it, right? Like, nothing's ever finished. There's always, I could just add this. I could just do this one thing. You know? I could do this extra bit of weathering. I could do this extra bit of OSL. Oh, I could do some mottling on the skin. Oh, the eyes are good, but they're not perfect. I could redo those. Oh, we could do some muzzle burn on this. Oh, we could do some environmental effects on that. There's never a point where you're done. There just needs to be a point where you're willing to walk away from the minion and call it done for now. And essentially, what I would suggest to anybody is, if you're happy with how it looks from a perspective of, there's loads more I could do, but for now I can get it on the table and I won't feel embarrassed about it being on the table, then cool. That's you done, bro. Anything past that is a bonus. And for a lot of people, I'd suggest you save that for your character minis, maybe centerpiece models, dreadnoughts, or some of the bigger things that you've got in your army, and then just get your regular rank and file just sort of done to that. Yeah, we're finished. We're okay with it. Something to remember though is that you don't need to buy every conceivable paint. Like for this skull, we used 2 paints. We just kept adding one to the other until it was enough and bright enough and highlighted enough. Done. For these, we're basically like doing the same thing. We put down some blue grey, washed it with some brown wash, and now we're using the same blue grey and one of the colours we used on that skull, sickly skin, to just create some highlights. And we'll do like 2 or 3 passes where we build up the amount of sickly skin. Question was, what do you find particularly bad about Nuln Oil, or something similar to that? Certainly that kind of effect. Basically, GW makes some really, really good paints. Okay, I use a lot of them. Here's one, there's another, here's one of their best paints. You know, we've got a load out on the desk at the moment, right? And a load more on the paint rack, which is just here to my side. However, they make some paints that are made for a price rather than made for a like standard of quality, and the vast majority of their washes falls into that. If you take something like Dark Tone from Army Painter, which is their version of a black wash, and Nuln Oil from GW, which is their version of a black wash, and got a mini that was exactly the same, 2 of them, used exactly the same base coat, and then exactly the same brush, so you're reducing as many variables as possible in this example. And you used Dark Tone instead on one of them, and Nuln Oil on the other one. The one you used Nuln Oil on would have this awful streaking set of surfaces, and you'd end up with what we call coffee staining. Everyone's seen a document that's had a cup of coffee put down on it a couple of times. You know, you've got those little blemishes and so on. You get that a lot with almost all Games Workshop washes. Now, obviously, the more careful you are and the more you go back and forth, you can stop that from happening. But you have to work a lot less with other products. Now, that being said, whenever you buy a paint, you have a small part of a gigantic batch. And as a result, there's always going to be variation. So your mileage may vary. You might buy a pot of Dark Tone and use it and go, I don't know what Jay's talking about. He's talking shit. This stuff's terrible. you know. But if you repeated that experiment 100 times with 100 different pots of paint, you'd have probably 95 lots of dark tone that smash the shit out of 95 lots of GW paint, 3 lots that were kind of even, and 2 of the Games Workshop paint beat the Army Painter paint. One Pesaurus, yeah, absolutely. You can change the finish on the miniature before you apply a wash. So a gloss, which helps break the surface tension, will help get the wash into the recesses. That's an extra step with quite a thick coat of paint, which for a display miniature you don't want to do too often. And so the more times you do that, the more chances there are of detail being slightly obscured or less easy to highlight and so on. And also, if the measure of success of a product working is you using another product first to safeguard it going wrong, is it a good product? Now, I'm not talking about a technique like using oil washes over a miniature that's been painted with acrylic paint, where you're using aggressive thinners and a wiping away or a blotting motion which could abrade the paint. I'm not talking about that. Because at that point, you probably need that gloss varnish to go down, especially if you've been using an airbrush, especially if you've been using inks, because it will have a very high chance of taking away the paint you've laid down. I'm talking about an acrylic ink across an acrylic surface, and you are going to find quite often that the GW version of their wash product is just inferior. Their paints, a lot of them are good. Some of them are fucking terrible. The same as every other paint line. I don't use a lot of GW paints, but we are the owners of probably about 30 different pigments from them. Most of which get used. But if I'm on the lookout for a new colour, right, so I need like a specific kind of shade of blue. I don't want to mix it every time. I'm probably going to start with P3. And if I can't find what I'm looking for there, I'm going to go to Vallejo. And if I can't find it there, then we'll suck it up and we'll go to Scale if I can airbrush it, or GW if I can't. Actually, we'll throw Pro Acryl in there, about the same level as probably the Vallejo, actually. Gordon's alive, live. Fire all weapons. Oh, Flash, I love you, but we only have 14 hours to save the Earth. Butters and Jams, cheers for the follow. Dizzyberg, some paints are just horrible, but that goes for every paint line as well. That's not a... well, maybe not Chimera, because they only have like 15, and so it's kind of easy for them to get 15 paints right. But certainly there's always some that are good and some that aren't, and that's just the way it is. Yeah, Jaeger, we're all right. I mean, I'm a bit tired still, a bit like throaty from talking non-stop for nearly 40 hours. What are we doing here? We did 39 hours. 22 plus 17, yeah, 39. But, yeah. Love these little fluffy helmets. But anyway, getting on the giveaway, guys. You've got easily another like hour or so, and then we will do the draw as well this evening for our Patreon video viewer or higher tier members who get a bonus prize out of the Twitch streams. We're not allowed to advertise that on Patreon. It's against their particular terms, but there's nothing wrong with me doing it this way from what I can work out. Also, we are still pushing for partner as well, so feel free to tell your friends that we're live. Maybe throw out a host. Especially put host if you don't know how. Looking at hazard stripes on chainsaws. In device was thinking Avalon, then brighter yellow over it. I use Bogrin Brown from P3 as my base coat, and then Flash Gits yellow. And I'm going to go on record as saying, like, the king of the hazard stripes. I love hazard stripes. We get hazard stripes on a lot of stuff. Bogrin Brown is a mid-tone ochre. So an ochre is like an orangey yellow brown. Salty Gear, getting a prime sub on. Boss, thank you very much. So what I would do is I would do your black paint first. Then you'll get 2 coats of Bogrin Brown to get a decent thickness of that. Make sure you thin it. You know, it will cover black really well. Once you've got a couple of coats of that down to do that, then pick up some Flash Gits yellow, mix that into your Bogrin Brown, and just glaze up the first highlights. Then take some white and mix that into it and glaze that up again. So you end up with something that is uncomfortably pale yellow, almost white. Then just take regular Flash Gits yellow, thin that right down to a glaze, and paint that over the white, and then bam. Beautiful. Hey, don't like yellow? Bogrin, Bogrin. And yes, to answer somebody's question, for me personally, P3 is the best brand of paint out there. Essentially, they're an acrylic paint. They are cost effective. They're cheap, which is always a bonus, right? Their paint comes in bottles this size, which is 22, 18 mil. I can't remember which. 18 mil. So that's 1.5 times the size of the Games Workshop pot, and it is about £2.30 a pot, I think, off of Element. So it's cheaper than the GW paints for a lot of the part. That normally come in around a $2.90-ish, I think. And you get more of it, and it's better. And one of the reasons it's better is because they grind their pigment ever so slightly finer, I believe. I have no concrete proof on this, but this is the only thing that makes sense for it to behave the way it behaves. And you end up with a paint that has both good coverage and a lot more power behind its pigment. Also, they all airbrush extremely well with a little bit of thinning, same as a lot of paints, but these are particularly good. And it's absolutely just top shit. P3 was designed by Mike McVeigh. So Formula P3, designed by arguably one of the best miniature painters that's ever worked in a professional capacity as a miniature painter. I don't mean someone that is a miniature painter for a living. I mean somebody that works for a miniature painting company and understands things like en masse workability. So, bit of a tangent. Chimera make a small range of paint designed for people to paint one-off miniatures, where they mix a load of stuff together, and you have this particular colour that you've mixed out of 4 or 5 other things to create exactly the shade that you want. At the other end of the scale, you've got people that are like, right, I've got an entire army of this shit to paint, and I need to get it done quickly. Okay, now Mike McVeigh works for the heavy metal team up in Lenton, and has been responsible for some of the best paint jobs that Games Workshop had in their history. Okay, he then went over to Privateer Press, basically his company, and created the Formula P3 paints. They are manufactured in England by HWG. Now, that's another reason for me to support that. I like supporting more local businesses as and where I can. And whilst P3 themselves might be a company based in, I want to say San Diego, but I might be incorrect. The fact that they're getting their paint made in the UK is, for me, a big tick in the plus column. So, many reasons that I started using P3. But honestly, I'm not going to stop using P3. They are extremely, extremely good paint. Is there a GW version of it? If I'm honest, mate, I don't know. I've never looked for one. I've never needed one. The paint that I have is absolutely perfect. If you don't have a hobby store near you that isn't Games Workshop, if you're UK based, !Element, go and have a look there. If they don't have it in stock and you're busting for it, check out Firestorm Games in Cardiff. They've got a website. They're a really, really good game store. They've got a massive selection of paint and a enormous tournament hall. It's one of my favourite venues. So, loads of ways you can get hold of that. And if it really comes to it, obviously, like eBay, you know? You can find pretty much anything there. I honestly can't recommend P3 enough. They are superlatively good. They did some amazing sculpts too. Look at his Sedition Wars range. Yeah. Yeah. Decent guy too. And what a talent. I mean, his Green Knight is arguably still now one of the prettiest miniatures I've ever seen in my life. And he painted that nearly 20 years ago. So yeah, he's absolutely like on the money. The P3 requires much thing as GW. About the same. About the same. Being purple's good. I've got that. It doesn't touch Nagaroth Night for me. I like that extra bit of darkness you get from that. I'll test out those other washes you mentioned. Was it Dark Tone? Yeah, it was Dark Tone. It's this stuff just here. Dark Tone and Strong Tone are the two like main ones that I use from their Quick Shade mixing mediums, Quick Shade washes line. But the Flesh Wash and the Purple Tone I use a lot for washing gold. But those two get used on pretty much every miniature I paint. Either to darken something down with brown to make it dirty, or to darken it down with black to obviously just darken it. So on all the metallics on this Ork, we've used both of those one after the other to create a very strong wash effect over our metallic, tinting that substantially. The only paint washes turn glossy. It might be that you hadn't shaken them enough. Right. Again, might have been, like I said earlier on, every time you buy a paint, it's a handmade product, or it's, you know, it's humans controlling part of the process, at least. And you will get some batches that are good and some that are not so good. I've never had an issue with an army painter wash, but I can't back their paints. Their paints are a bit shit. Their paints are made for price rather than made for quality. As a result, you end up with something that quite definitely could be applied with like a twig. You wouldn't even need bristles. You can just scoop up paint and sort of slap it on a bit. It's not good at all. Yeah, I'm still waiting for this pack from Jason to turn up. When they turn up, we'll give Pro Acryl another go. Because those fucking screw top lids drove me batty. We were so done with those. It's got a little paint on his corner of his mouth. Just having to deal with that before we move on. Right, we've got this little flame symbol down here. Let's do flames. Go flip block, yeah. Yeah, Jason said he'd send me some. So, as and when they rock up, they rock up. We're not in a rush. End of the day, he's sending them over for free from the other side of the ocean, so can't be mad about that. Never used Darkstar. I've heard various things from various people. I've never particularly needed to use one of their paints. There's been nothing from their line. It's like nobody else does this that I've needed to use. But I've heard, that they're at least okay, quite a lot. I've not had anything that's made me think I have to go and get these right now. Before anybody else can get them, I need them now. Right. Get some yellow on the palette. And then we'll just blend red and yellow until we get flames that look like I want them. So look, that's it. Just gonna make sure we hit all sides of this. And I'll tell you what we'll do as well, actually. We'll take a little bit of strong tone. Chicken fingers! Dude, it has been too long. How are you? How's things? Hope you're good. God, I'm trying to remember the last time I saw you. It must have been before Christmas. Yeah, almost certainly. Hey, you came back to the right stream, man. Get this in. Battle Times, I wouldn't worry too much about phasing out GW stuff. Like, the only reason I stopped using Evil Sun Scarlet was because I found Kador Red. Kador Red is just that little extra bit better than Evil Sun Scarlet. Evil Sun Scarlet is still great. Fun employment was stolen. Shit. Wait, fun employment was stolen. I'm assuming you were made redundant or you lost your job in some way. I didn't quite understand entirely. Have you recharged nicely? Well, we've recharged a little, mate. That's about all I've got right now. I'm glad things are okay now. I take it that means you've got yourself some like a job or some other opportunity has opened up. If so, I'm really glad, man. Right, let's grab this. Way too thin. Still a bit croaky. Still a bit tired, Good sleep tonight and we'll be fine. All we're doing now is we're just putting on a thin wash around the outside of this to help darken down the area around it. That's going to give our red a little bit more pop. That separation is going to really help. Do you have vehicle paint tutorials tips? I'm thinking about getting a Space Marine Predator, but I feel like large flat size will be dull / boring. Oh, my friend, you are just in time. This week on Patreon, it will be on Patreon. Basically, we alternate. Every week we release a video. One week is YouTube, next week is Patreon. And last week the video was YouTube. Scribbo! Hey, brother. How you doing, man? Everyone, give this guy a follow. Great artist. Both physical art and digital art. He's done some artwork for the stream before now. Absolute boss. Wolf Priest Kiarl. Ogiman. Dog Cerberus. I feel that's a good username. I like it. But yeah, how was your stream, dude? How's things? Yeah, the last video we did was last Friday. It was YouTube. It was how to paint orc skin 2 different ways. So one way involved an airbrush and has a workup. It's a little unusual because we started with purple as the base color for our green. And in the start of that video, we talk a lot about color theory and why that works. And then we did another version of orc flesh without using an airbrush. So Nickit was completely done with a brush, like super easy, 3-color workup for green. And one of those colors you could argue is probably optional. So, Drew Sigval, nice, dude. Very nice. If you want to show him off, you know, get a screenshot in the whip later on, we'll definitely be taking a look in there. So yeah, that was the last video. Orc video was great. Been doing my git stomper using your video. Nice. Are you also giving him extremely tragic 90s camo gear and denim jacket? Because I feel that's the only appropriate way to paint him. Also, to those who have just come in from Scrivo stream, ! Scorp, we've got a giveaway tonight. We're giving away all the prizes we didn't get to give away over the weekend, such as one of the Scorpec Lords from our last Necronathon. This guy is a bit of a beast. He's one of my favourite characters in the Necron side from the Indolatus box. And frankly, he looks terrifying. So we're giving away him. We're giving away a set of tokens. You've got 6 objective markers. We've got a ruler, see if you're 3 inches away from the objective marker, 2 3-inch, 2-inch, 1-inch and 1/2-inch measuring widgets, and a score counter. And if that's not enough, we're giving away the Rival Crafts basing bundle we had left over as well. So we've got those 3 prizes as one prize, and then if you are a Patreon member, a video viewer or higher, you can win either this Shock Jump Dragster or this Lord of Virulence. !Patreon for more. Both those being given away towards the end of the stream. Alright, what's left to do? Shit, he might be done. Pretty sure that he is actually done, like finished. We've got Nickit to finish off. We're just going to do some glazing now around these flames, make them look a little bit more like flames. So we've got some red and some yellow on our palette. We'll just work these up till we get to a point where we're happy with some flames. Let's leave the red in the center and work up from there. So all our brush strokes will be in a direction away from the center of this symbol, because the largest deposit of paint is at the end of the brushstroke. Fancy Nancy Pants being given a sub by Glass Joe. Dude, way too generous. You went mental over the weekend with subs as well. So thank you very much. Let's get some love in a stream for Glass Joe. He's a streamer as well, so give him a follow if you can. Just give Fancy Nancy Pants to create an account. Oh, that's the wrong one. No wonder I couldn't find somebody in that. Currency. There you go, Fancy Nancy Pants. There's some meeps for you. I think you got some over the weekend. Yes, I think you did as well. I can't remember who by. We did have quite a lot of subs given out over the weekend. It was utter madness. But that's the guys here. You know? Everyone is extremely generous. Got that community spirit. It's crazy. Crazy. Did us well in our push for partner though. So we're going for it. We've pressed the button, we've made our application, we submitted our application, and in fact the chat helped write our application on Saturday lunchtime. So fingers crossed. You're looking at the next mini painting partner on Twitch. We'll see. We'll see. Right, I think we've gone a little bit too far with the orange. There's not enough red left in there. It's like 68 subs in a row on Sunday night, and your brain left the planet. Yeah, I was not at like the most optimum mental state then anyway. And when all that happened, I'm just like, I don't even know where I am. We were absolutely done. Also, Scrivo, really glad you've been liking this Orc tutorial for the skin. The first time I met Scrivo, this was a couple of years back, was at one of the Hellstorm tournaments. And he was playing Orcs. And not just a few Orcs. He must have had easily 100 boys on the table. This is someone that's done a lot of painting Orcs. A lot of painting Orcs. And if we've given him a new recipe for Orc skin, then I am extremely excited by that. Help me, I've been painting nothing but boys. That's right, Glass Joe's been painting a lot of boys as well. He knows the feeling indeed. Good fun Sunday, had a solid hangover on Monday. Oh shit, son. Don't get part. I think it's justified going and smashing Twitch off his with it. Hey, get that out of the stream, quick. Can't have them seeing that. Well, I'm feeling confident. Had a look at some of my fellow streamers that are already partner and like their sort of share of viewers and so on, and I'm actually not that far off. So fingers crossed. Pinkill TV, take care. Thank you for that raid. Really appreciate it. It's nice to see other Warhammer painters by chain raiding cool people. Nice. We had a big raid from Studio J7 that I'm assuming he was raided at least once for that. That was a hell of a raid. Yeah, that was a mad one. That needs to be thinned a little bit more. Jason was raided by like 630 people. Damn, man. Who raided him for that? So from Yogscast. Fuck. Awesome. Drunk Mystic, thank you very much for that Patreon pledge. That's a video viewer subscription. You only get a new video this week on how to paint marine tanks. And you're going to be eligible now for tonight's giveaway for either the Formula 1 car or the Lord of Virulence. All you guys that are in with a chance to win that, which one would you take? Wait, which one? Like, do you want the Death Guard? Do you want the Orcs? You're like, I don't play either. I don't have a dog in the fight, so I choose. Let's see, we got 2 for the car, 3 for the car, 4 for the car, 2 for the Lord. Oh, 3 for the Lord, 4 even. Damn. Divided. Car's getting some more love. Could we be doing more Orcs? Speedboat. Speedboat's not on the list. Not bollock boy. Yeah, I know, right? Race car is race car backwards, except you spelt backwards wrong. That was super impressive, other than that. Amazing. Totally did not know. You dropped a bollock on that one. Ah, so you want this guy as well, who is, I mean, that's clearly a nutsack. Wait, oh, Danny, no, mate, no. That was a tragedy. Poop is poop backwards, except poop backwards is a lot less pleasant than just a regular poop. I think both would be quite fun to paint. And part of me wants to do the car as like a completely acid washed thing. So basically, the way to do it would be to take a fuckload of chipping fluid, get it all over the car, paint the car, and then chip off almost all the paint that we've put on top of like a metal undertone. That's what I would probably end up doing. Could I replace it with entrails? I mean, that's an option. I know someone that's done one and they've just sculpted some armor on. It actually looks really good. Paint the car like lime green shit from the Fast and Furious. The Hulk one? Or do you mean the one that Paul Walker drove? Like, if we were going to do any Fast and Furious paint job on this, how would we do it? Like, which one? Because really, they actually have a car in the film that has this kind of super low front ramp. That's in Fast and Furious 6. Yes, I've seen them all many times. I love those films. The Hulk car, I mean, it's not... The red and orange one, that red and orange car was sick. Or we paint it like Dom's GTO. Which admittedly it's just black, but like, it's not a lot we can do with it past that, really. Red ones do go faster. Red ones do go faster. So that's an option. Silver and blue neon underglow. We could even do an underglow. We could get some OSL going on underneath the car. We've got a couple of little vents here we could get some glow coming from. We could just get some glow just anyway coming out from any things like this panel at the front and so on, just onto the base. So, you know, loads of things that we could do for that. Right, anything left to do? You get one more highlight, just the tips. Just the tip. These flames. So yeah, I think everyone wants the car now, but Lord of Virulence is super cool. He really is cool. He's one of the nicest Death Guard models. And I know there's a couple of people in the stream with a Death Guard army. So, you know. Cool, but not vroom vroom cool. Ball bag puts you off. You don't want a little sack. No? Paint some hair on. You're going to spend at least an hour painting the ball bag though. Listen, mate. I've painted so many Nurgle demons. We've edge highlighted way more butt cracks than we need to. One of which was painting white over what was basically white because it needed those final highlights. And that was on a great unclean one. That great unclean one. That guy's got a very, very wrinkly ass. So, you know. Right, something else. We've got just the base to do on this guy. And if I'm honest, I'm probably just going to do it off stream because it involves getting a load of pigments out and getting messy. I've got to put the mask on and so on. So we'll look for another couple of little details we can maybe pull out. But while I'm trying to work out what I can paint on these in the last sort of 15 minutes or so of the stream, we'll have a quick chat about our stream's birthday. It's our 2-year anniversary at the end of April. So end of next month. So AD Lewis, you if you're a weekly reader, you get written tutorials every single week. If you're a video viewer, you get all of those weekly tutorials, and you get a video tutorial every 2 weeks. And you get access into things like tonight's giveaway, that second chance to get one of the giveaway minis that we do every single month here. Exclamation point mystery for some more information about that. But for the stream's birthday, last weekend of April, we're going to paint an army and give it away. We're going to raffle it off. So you're going to get a prize for the price of a raffle ticket. Not bad, right? Now, over the last month, we've let the community here decide on what they would like to put in an army. So it's not just, oh, here's a combat patrol box. Here's a, what do you call it, start collecting box that we've painted and given away. No. We've let the community choose an army. We've then had them vote on it, and we have 5 armies that are going to go up for grabs. We're going to start a straw poll. Going to go up next stream, and it'll be there for probably 3 weeks or so. Let it have plenty of time to run. Get as many votes as we can to really iron down the one out of these 5 that the community here wants. So here's the lists. We've got a Tyrannid list, a Neurothrope, Old One-Eye, a big unit of warriors, a small unit of warriors, unit of rippers, 5 Zoanthropes, and a Carnifex. That's just cool. You've got a little battalion of Tyrannids who add stuff to. You've got a very meaty unit of Zoanthropes, and they do a lot of damage in a psychic phase. If there was one more in there, obviously it would be absolutely on the money, but we're using one of those for the Neurothrope there. Not bad, right? Old One-Eye is a super cool character. He just is. He really is. And a Carnifex down here at the bottom. Basically, Old One-Eye went in because Carnifex was part of the original list. When you buy them, they come in groups of boxes of 2. I figured this way we get a second HQ slot out of there. If we just do some Ripper Swarms, might just buy the Forge World ones. Why not, right? So each you submitted that list. It was very similar to the list that I put down as the example, but solid. Liking it. We've then got a Tau list, which was originally just a Commander, 10 Fire Warriors, and 3 Broadsides. Well, we've added in another unit of Fire Warriors and a Cadre Fireblade to make that a legal battalion as well. We put down mixed drones here and with a drone here, because I'm probably going to make at least one of these a shield drone, maybe some gun drones, and some missile drones. Who knows? Might just do all the missiles. But 3 units of Fire Warriors in there to give us something that's a nice solid base for some objective grabbing. And all of these lists come to around sort of 750 points. Something sort of closing in there. So smaller games, your Crusade games perhaps, you can use them for. Des submitted a list that was some Salamanders. He's got Adrax Agatone in there, some Assault Intercessors with Handflamer and Thunderhammer, and then he put in these 2 elite choices, the Flame Aggressors and the Warsuit the Flamer. I added in Ironclad because it's a big punchy thing, very much like these 2 choices, that can have Melter-Gun, Flamer in its weapons there. So that's a really cool choice. Plus 3 Eradicators. Very Salamander-y. That's a horrible list. Tough list. We've got a Sisters of Battle list. This is a Vanguard because we've got 3 elite choices. We've got a Canoness, a 5 Lady Battle Sister squad with a Metal Gun and Multi-Melter, probably. Depends on the kit, where you can get all of this. Some Repentia and a Superior, a Celestian squad with some more ranged firepower, Stormbolter and Heavy Bolter, and a Rhino. And then finally, another list that I wrote, which was voted on quite heavily, a Space Force list. It is 4 Dreadnoughts and 5 Assault Intercessors. Bjorn, Murderfang, 2 Vendreads, 1 with a gun and the Wolverine Claw, 1 with a big old axe and the shield. Love it. Love it. And you can tell Bjorn's definitely having the Frostfire Cannon. Definitely having the Frostfire Cannon. So, these are the 5 lists that have been created by the community or myself, but that were then voted on by the community and won that place in the top 5. So, for the next stream, if anyone has got anything that needs to be changed on this, any suggestions for change, let me know between now and then. The list and the lists and a link to said lists is right here in the Streamiversary section of Discord. So go there, have a look through it, let me know in this channel if there's anything that you think, actually, Jay, you've done this, but I think this is what you should do instead. We're not going to change the lists too much, simply because they were voted on by the community and they need to be, obviously, in keeping with the theme that the people have voted for, but I really like them. I really, really like them. Now, these lists, we need to know over the next 3 weeks or so which one we're buying. Once I've bought the list, we'll get another vote going on for colour schemes to start thinking about those. Gunblina, they're not troops. Oh wait, are they? No, I was thinking of Pathfinders. Sorry, they're fast attack. We need to think about colour schemes and basing schemes as well. So there's something to consider on top of which list you'd like to buy. Buy? Win. I meant win. I've got to buy it. You've got to buy a raffle ticket to try and win it. That's the way. There you go. With the Space Force list, we're not necessarily tied into doing just grey or like blue-grey. We can do any kind of like Space Force successor or something along those sorts of lines. It's no problem. But obviously a nice thematic Space Wolf list would look really cool. Just thinking if there's anything else we can do on these, and if I'm honest, I really don't think there is. I don't even want to do anything like writing swag on the back of this. I think it would just cheapen it a little bit. So we're going to leave this as is. We're going to We're going to finish off this base off stream because it involves a load of pigments making a mess. And I've literally just cleaned the board, so don't want to worry about that. But Hersasero, these guys are pretty much done. What do you think? I hope you like them, dude, because I've had a lot of fun painting these, especially this guy. He's such an epic mini. There you are. So remember, guys, if you want to win a mini painted by me, we've got this giveaway going on. It's supposed to put Scorp now to get in on winning that Scorpeth Lord, along with the tokens kit and the basing bundle from Rival Crafts. And if you're a Patreon, a video viewer, or higher tier, you could win either the Lord of Virulence or the Shock Jump Dragster later on as well. We'll paint that too. The other prize that was given away, that was a mini to be painted this month, and we need to get on with assembling this guy, is in here. This was the mystery box, and Sons of Rolo chose the mystery box. This is the sort of horseman guy, the flying horse from Age of Sigmar. What an absolutely epic kit. Phenomenal kit. So much detail on this. Now, when we ship it out, I think the only thing I can really do to ensure it gets there in one piece is put it in a metal box and then just like spray expanding foam in there and then just cut the top straight off once it's finished curing. So Rolo, you might have to excavate it yourself, who knows. But fucking hell, this thing is just... It's a great kit, but why is there all of the wobbling around? It says even in the instructions... Right, here's the things for Reikenor the Grimhaler. What a name. Where's the thing? Where does it say it? The body has some fragile components. Make sure you support fragile areas of the finger as you push them together. If you've lined up the components correctly, they should slot together with gentle pressure. Fragile components. Have you seen this guy? No, Danny, we buy boxes to send minis out in. So we've got a box. It's just making sure it's packed well enough that he's not going to snap somewhere down here. Madness. Fucking madness. But yeah, he's cool. Working out how to paint that. Sons of Rolo just said, you know what, mate? Paint it any way you like. Dealer's choice. So, the fuck have we done here? Looking forward to it. I'm thinking we're going to do like some blue-green sort of teal colours for the base and the statue on the base. And then I really like Rich Gray's version, which was the red and the blue. I really, really do. And we might do something along those sorts of lines, but I don't want to do a direct copy of what he's done. So that's the mystery box. We've also got to start thinking about what we're going to do for the giveaways for this month as well. But what we are going to do now, though, is go into the work in progress gallery. So if you have got something you'd like to show off, !whip or !discord, go to the work in progress gallery and upload 3 or less pictures of your work. Any more than that, we will have to skip over them to make sure that other people get a chance to have their work shown on stream. But we really want to make sure that we can do some really good deep dives on what's gone into the whip gallery today, because we didn't get a chance at all to do it over the weekend with the Necrons. And whoever it was that asked how we got on, I did Yam Cakes. We didn't quite finish all of the recess shading. I think I've got 7 minis to do that on, but it's like 3 Doomstalkers, the Silent King's base, and spiders. So it's not like oh no, and we've got 9 minis, the 2 Doom Croissants as well. So it's not like it's small minis to do. We've got plenty there. What it does mean, though, is at the end of this month, instead of painting the Death Watch, or at least the start of my Death Watch army, which is what I was going to do, instead of doing that, we will carry them on. It won't be a horrendous endurance stream like that again. It might be 12 hours, 2 days in a row. I mean, Daddy Tubbs, you can put it that way if you like. But I at least got 4,000 points of Necron's tabletop ready. What the fuck did you do at the weekend? You know? You can just push that if you want. Remember, mate, fucking Swoldemort will come and sort you out. Just a couple of little 12-hour streams, you got it. You got it. Yeah. And mods, you don't have to worry about like covering that. You're good. Angry Mohawk? Hell no, not Angry Mohawk, but you know, if someone's going to throw some shade, I'm going to throw some shade back. And I make a living throwing shade on minis. So, you know. Donna-chan, you're a sweetheart, thank you. What's that Blood Angel with the huge shield and lion cloak on its back? Jay scrolling through those images. Oh, that's not a Blood Angel, that's the lion. That was the bigature that we did. Mikey and I both painted a 200mm tall Space Marine. It was 3D printed. Mine went for a silent auction, although it turned out to not be silent. Right? whole point of a silent auction is that you don't know what the bid is, but it just told you what the bid was. So the website I used completely fucking misadvertised that to me. And Mikey gave his away. Although it took him a while and he doxed a load of people. So, speak to Mikey, Thickos. I'm sure we can print one off for you. Anyway, into the whip. This is Danny. He's done some airbrush practice. This looks like some of the Warcry stuff. This is done a blue to purple fade. Looks good, dude. Honestly, looks alright. It's quick, isn't it? So quick. We've survived through 2 Chronothrons. Bring it on. Nice. I haven't survived through 2 Chronothrons. BoilerFan50, cheers for the follow. Our website docs. No, look, the whole thing with the phone number on there, it had to be on there to keep it legitimate, right? I don't mind that at all. Yeah, looks solid, dude. Get your brushes out. Get your recessed shades done and everything in there. This I saw earlier on. Really nice. Honestly, mate, really, really nice. The pink is very vibrant. It's exactly what you want off of a fade like this. Really dark purple. Top work. And here you go. Here's one of the wizards. Have you got everything in the How to Paint Gold guide? Have you got all of that? Because that's what we're going to be doing when we start your lessons. It's going to be lesson 1. Alright, Bob the Knight. Alpha Legion. Okay. Was this whatever colour turquoise it is that they call one of their contrast paints? It kind of looks like it. Contrast paints are something that I don't I don't like, because Games Workshop said, here's this new product that we've created that all you have to do is open a pot and slap it on a mini and you're done. And that isn't true. And I hate the fact that they've said this, because as someone that is a professional miniature painter, it's literally what I do for a living. I have had many years of experience painting, and I know that there's nothing you can get out of a bottle that's a one-coat wonder to get everything done. There's no variation in hue. There's frequently no big change in value that's not too dark next to something you've got as light. And the one thing that Games Workshop didn't tell you about contrast paint, because it's obviously very bad for their marketing, is that it is not very good over large flat areas. Which is a shame. Okay? Almost nothing is good brush painted over large flat areas. It's just not. It's very difficult to get something that is very smooth and that has very little variation in hue or tone. Haunted Spartan, I've only used Dalarani, but I've heard great things about Liquitex White, and I've used plenty of Liquitex inks, so I imagine they're kind of interchangeable. You can brush paint a wall. You're absolutely right. You can brush paint a wall, but you're not using something like this. You're using something that's got a quite wide body on it. So when you do that brush paint, the variation is so much less. Okay? And even when you paint a wall, you do one paint job, then you sand it, and you paint it again, and you sand it, and you paint it again. Oh, obviously it's difficult to do that on a miniature. And that's how you eliminate the variation when you paint a wall properly if you're a proper painter. AJR Tyvoka, thank you for the follow. So essentially what I would do here is take your contrast paint and either using contrast medium or you could probably get away with Vallejo Flow Improve, it's cheaper and it's kind of the same thing, or just water. You can paint several coats of this. What will happen, the more coats you put down, the thicker that paint is, and the less variation you have over a surface. If you look on the right hand side of this, you'll see there's been an extra couple of brush strokes put down there. Look how much deeper the colour is there than the bit right next to it. And that's essentially what you would end up with, is a model that has that kind of colour all over it nice and smoothly. The first coat of paint you put down, you're going over something that's very, very light underneath it, which is the silver. You're going to have a hard time getting a fully smooth coat of paint over that. Right? You can't do it with one coat. There are very few times I'd say the word can't in miniature painting, because normally when someone says you can't do that, they mean that they can't do that, not that you can't do it. Okay? Which is exactly what we've got in the chat there, in fact. So, the reason I said you can't do it with one coat is because I don't think anyone is going to be able to do that smoothly with one coat. I'd suggest just going back over it a second time, thinning your paint down a little bit, maybe doing it a third or even a fourth time if you need to. It's just one of those things that you've got to do on a tank or a dread or a knight or even some scenery and stuff like that. With everything else, you've done fine. What you could do as well, though, just as a quick aside, on your tracks here, the ones on the left hand side nearest your thumb, some of that paint's gotten a little bit away from you. Don't be afraid to come back in with some silver and just tidy up the one side of that. Okay? Otherwise, mate, nice enough job. Thank you for sharing. I love the fact you're doing Alpha Legion Marines. Big fan of the Alpha Legion. Right, Forks Art. We've got 5 Marines now. Looking good. I think you need a little bit more shade on things like the guns and the fist and so on. You don't get all of the details to them. So get a slightly darker version of that colour and then paint around the recesses. So on the power fist there, you've got that sort of the back of the hand that's that kind of bluey turquoise colour. Just go around all of that to give it some more separation from the pink for the armour. On the gun, that little grav pistol that he's holding, do exactly the same thing. Get into the recesses there, break apart all those little bits. You'll get to see more detail on the miniature. But otherwise, good job. You've got your highlights in the right place. This is fine. A little bit of freehand there on the knee. Very cute. The bases you're going to want to do something with, because the flat yellow paint isn't really working for me. It's not particularly realistic. And it certainly doesn't look like sand if that was what you were going for, like a desert. At worst, you could just get some like sand and some PVA glue it down, and then put an ink or so over the top and a quick dry brush. At best, there's a lot of things that you could do with them. Check out my video on YouTube, I think it's called Simple Steps to Boost Your Bases, and it is exactly how I base everything that we do, from my own minis to commission minis, competition minis. We do exactly the same sort of process, essentially. So well worth checking that out. Also, don't forget, those shoulder pads are some big flat areas, and they're great for getting some freehand on. Similar like a chapter logo, squad markings, all that kind of thing. That video changed my whole outlook on basing. MC, thank you very much, bro. Bottom Blade, how do meeps work? Meeps work, you earn them as you watch. And at the end of the month, the last stream of the month, which this month is a Tuesday the 30th, you spend your meeps to buy raffle tickets to win a £50 hobby voucher. That's it. Super simple. Watch a stream. If you're a subscriber, we give you meeps. If you give subs, if you donate and other things, there's other ways of like essentially earning additional meeps. But basically, that's kind of it. That's all you got to do. In fact, that how command is exactly the right thing. Meeps are not channel points. Channel points are different. Channel points you'll find just below the chat. Meeps are the in-channel currency. So, two different ways of earning a currency on Twitch. But yeah, basing San, I ordered some tufts. Good. That's a good start. But I would definitely check out that video. Nivius. Censure inspired by Mickey. Mickey, brilliant. I think I'm close to nailing my bikes with textured scheme. Still need to finish the sword, hair, purples, and a few other bits. Mikey, M-I-K-E-Y, by the way. That's Mickey. Slightly different. That'll do. Yeah, that's close enough for the sort of redacted parts. Yeah, good work, dude. You could probably do an ever so slightly better fade on the on that cowling for the jet bike. If it's just that one point, got that sort of spirit stone there, and then the one bit of white that goes right up into that gap. I would probably just over that glaze in some more of that mid-tone you've used, just to knock that back ever so slightly, because the edges to there are slightly too abrupt. Basically what's happened is you've kind of drawn your brush in the same direction, and around other parts of it you've ended up with a softer fade because of the way that the edge of that armor plate has happened. Whereas there, that's happened to be the direction that your brush has been going in. As a result, it's bold because it's got a defined edge. Blur that out a little bit with some glazes and it will just soften the whole thing. But good work. Good work. You could also do with taking that center line you've got on the sword and probably going about the same length again down the length of the blade. Other than that, mate, solid. Good work. The edges of the icon on the top of the jet bike need a little bit of a go as well. But keep it up. Keep it up. Right, Jay Butterworth. Here we go. Sides of the Emperor Marine. What's he holding? I'm guessing a trident of some description because of the chapter he is, but can't quite work it out. Cool shield. Better than using that at GW store. I mean, yeah. A mighty bolter stick, absolutely. Chain glaive. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Used as Teeth of Terror in the game, or something else? Dreadfit, I think there's a slight difference between like the odd part of a miniature being present and an entire army of we forgot to wear trousers and tops Eldar. So just put your primary specs. Ah, nice. Okay, quality. Please tell me you're putting something quite bold on that shield, like a big symbol. Maybe the griffin thing they have for the 3 chapters working together. I've forgotten what it's called. Or of course the trident for the spears themselves. Runic markings, nice. Folks art is called Simple Steps to Boost Your Bases. If you go to my YouTube and search the videos, under the playlists for video tutorials, it'll be in there. Alright, what have we got here? Oh, sculpted fur. Not bad, dude. Sculpting is something I'm really not good at. Dizzy, everyone. Yeah, sculpting's not something I'm great at all. Definitely looks like fur. Yeah. Can't argue with what you've got there. Solid end result. Good stuff. Right, Gitface wanted an Avenger Gatling cannon for my Evo Rescue Knights. Designed this over the weekend while watching the stream. Designed to use the back from the battle cannon. Made a change to the flamer as can be seen from the print. Look more like 2 hand flamers rather than the heavy flamer. Not sure to change the skull on top to rise up instead of down. That's hell of butchers. Well, it definitely looks a lot like a Gatling cannon. That's pretty amazing, to be honest, dude. And there it is printed. Is the heavy flamer nozzle wide enough, like big enough? They're normally pretty chunky. Nice work they did. I'm really impressed. The one in the print is too small. I think it is. But this is super impressive for me. Yeah, solid work, man. Well done. Really well done. The solid gummy bear is great. Made it big, you just need to reprint. Okay, dude. Fantastic work. Well done. Santi, starting on Lionheart. Did the cape. Might come back to it, though. I'm putting the first mid-tone for the NMM Gold Shield. Starting room because it's easier and I need the practice. Okay, yeah. Solid red. Are these the D&D style cat miniatures that Miss Half Damage has painted a few of? Tim, how you doing, bro? You don't recommend Montre on UV resin? No. No, fuck no. In fact, I've got a... right, let me show you this. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. See this little mark here? This is a resin burn I got from last Wednesday that's only just now stopped being a blister. Like, only just stopped being a blister. So all over the weekend, that was a blister. So for all the minis we were holding for that fucking 40 hours of the streaming, blister. Just be fucking careful with resin. These are bigger, you said. Cool, I thought she was. Yeah, Erin's smashing out these things. Okay, cool. So if that's the mid-tone, do you know how your value, like, do you have any idea of where the values are going to be for the brightest parts of this and the darkest parts of this? So that's always the hardest part of doing non-metallic metal. It's working out where the light and the shadow actually falls to make it look like it's that reflective metallic surface. Nice, dude. Nice. Cape's good. I think your cape needs a lot more in the shadows. It might just be the light. It can be very difficult to take photos of minis. But certainly from here, there's not a lot of variation. However, I'd probably wait till you've done everything else before you risk making it too dark in places. Solid stuff though, man. Tony Spruce, been testing out Zephanol priming. Is that something to do with fast-paced birds? We'll assume she meant zenithal. And it is a good yellow. If you leave this till after Friday, then you might find that there's a video that's released that would help you out, possibly significantly. Just throwing that one out there, that I'm possibly recording a how to paint marine tanks video. Who knows? Who knows? It's probably using a Blood Angels impulsor that's just there to do it. Probably that. Probably. When doing the yellow though, it's all about the recesses. You can get it as bright as you want, but you've got to get those recesses down. Look at all the hazard stripes on my knights. You see the picture of those. It's that almost orange recess. Works super well for things like that. You can use pink. Less so for Space Marines. Scarlet works quite well. In fact, we've done an Imperial Fist of Scarlet. That guy, I think we did the Wasp guy using Bogra and Brown. I can't remember, but I think that might be it. Will Wraith mind if you paint his Blood Angel Pulse's Imperial Fist to help Teenage Bruise out? Probably, yeah. We'll try. Main unit. What is this? Some crazy leaping dagger man. Lady, in that case. What's this, dude? Sorry, Malseer, not main unit. Please accept my apologies for that one. Looking good though. Harlequin? I don't know. It doesn't look like a Harlequin. The big like armor plate on the like the Ragecraft Mini. Okay, cool. It looks cool. Lots of different materials. You've got like leather, cloth, skin, metal, all in one spot. Then you've got things like stone down here. Some of those details don't look as crisp as you might want them. This might be a little tricky to paint, but what you've done so far looks good, dude. Keep it up. Keep it up. Nick Oz, first attempt at non-metallic metal. Oh, on Bobby G. Okay. So, non-metallic metal is tough. Okay? It just is. And you've taken a subject... Master Mouse! Peace out, bro. You've taken a... Oh, and good luck in your job interview. Let us know how it goes, yeah? Yeah, it's tough right now getting a job, so... Fingers crossed for you, bro. Right. You've taken a subject that is extremely complicated. And it's a very, very much a baptism of fire, what you're doing here. Your recesses are not dark enough. And that's an issue. The best non-metallic metals have absolute dark next to absolute bright. And the contrast between those two coming off each other is what makes non-metallic metal look good. The other thing that you'll need to consider here, I'm not sure you've thought about this yet, is exactly where your light source is on the model as a whole. Non-metallic metal works really, really well for doing a competition piece, because your competition piece is normally going to be looked at from 1, 2 or 3 angles, and that's it. And it's not going to be put on a battlefield where it'll be looked at all round. There's definitely a here's the front where you see everything and it's right. Here's the back where you see everything and it's right. And here's the one side we've allowed you to look at because there's scenery behind him or whatever blocking that off. You can see everything and it's right. Or the piece is lit predominantly by a light that is off stage, and that's where you're getting your reflections and so on. Think about that now, where you're going to put this shoulder on the miniature. Are all of your light sources here spot on? So that's like the sort of meta decision making that you need to do with non-metallic metal. That's the first challenge that you have, is working out where everything lives. And that's not easy. It's really not easy, in fact. And that's before we get to the point that he's got this gold shoulder pad right next to a sword that is on fire. And there's the obvious OSL element of what you're going to have to do on this. Biggest bits of feedback I can give for you is that your transitions from one thing to another aren't as smooth as they need to be. If you look at the feathers, the pinions that are coming down the sides, you've got brown and that stops, and there's yellow, like a mid-tone, and then there's a highlight, and that needs to be much smoother. If you look at that like rounded top part to the shoulder pad, the sort of breastbone of the two birds of the Aquila, peace out, bud. Your highlights there are a little thick for your brightest highlights, so be careful for things like that. Get your recesses darkened down. My recipe for non-metallic gold usually starts off with burnt umber as my base coat. I add flash gitch yellow to it until we run out of room for flash gitch yellow. Then we add white to it, or usually something closer to Menoth white highlight for quite a while, then a tiny bit of white, and that's it. For the uptick. For the shadows, we add in purple, basically, to our whatchamaflip, and a little bit of black, but never just black, always very dark purple. Really helps give you that massive shift, but it is difficult. So, good luck, honestly, mate. If this is your absolute first attempt, don't want to sound like a dick, but just paint a regular marine shoulder pad. No, Tim, we're still recovering from the weekend. Paint a regular marine shoulder pad, paint the field for it after you've painted the trim for it. Master the trim, you haven't got much to paint. And then paint the field, and that's way harder. Because you've got this smooth, flat area that you have to get your blends right. If you don't, it looks shit. So, it's good practice. But good luck. Drunk Mystic worked from the weekend and Monday, really pleased with the chair, wanted a dirty bone look on the Morton himself, but still the highlights to do. Yeah, dirty bone looks right. Some of that, from the distance I've sat to the screen, some of that flows into itself a little bit. So you'll work on your contrast just a little bit more. But the chair looks great. That's a really nice bone. Much better contrast there. You see every element of what you've got there. None of it just bleeds into something else. Same here. There's much more going on, but you see each aspect of that. Do that with this guy's legs and so on. Painting black, one, would it work on Deathwatch or Black Templar? Yes. If you haven't got an airbrush, you can do it by glazing thin coats. Yes. There you go, you know. Crosby, slow progress, lots of hours at work. Love the wolf dress legit. Yes, the list is good. Nice, mate. Getting some assembly done on Blade Guard vets, and I can't quite see what this dude is in the front. More Blade Guard vets, I guess. Yeah. And a Judicia holding back a doggo. Nice, bro. Nice. Base view was great. Good. I'm glad. Jimmy. Dug out my Bjorn. Back out the finish. Love that leg. The red and the black leg. That looks great. That looks really great. Yeah, solid work. Might be painting one of these. Never know. Not sure on a green snake. I figured, as I can see a lot of elements of this that aren't finished, that there's a lot more going on with it. I imagine that isn't finished. The thing is, it kind of fits in all of the sort of Norse lore and the wolf time and all that shit. Bjorn choking his snake. I think you just need to get that separation in there, and a little bit as well with the motif around a sarcophagus. Goliath Games, what up, brother? You need a bit more separation in there. Part of that looks like the photo. This looks like it's taken in a very harsh light, and it's just having a bit of a hard time, your camera, pulling out those details. So don't worry too much about it, but maybe just get a little bit of a wash just to help separate some of those parts. But it looks okay. With the snake, you could leave it green, but then just sort of highlight up a little bit more with yellow and just darken down with blue, perhaps. Motif looked better with solid gold. If you mean all around the edge, no, I like what you've done. The way it looks like you've got just that little gold like filigree, I guess is the right word, I don't know. But you just need to have a little bit more separation. So one of the easiest ways to do this is to thin down a wash and paint it over the gold. But if you imagine my finger is the gold trim, the gold motif, put your brush over it so it just comes down either side of that, and then when you paint a brush stroke, you're going to get that wash just absorb, just sort of flow right up into that recess and hold itself there by the surface tension, and that will basically outline it with a quick set of brush strokes. It doesn't require a lot of like really high finesse stuff. It's just get in some of those lines and you're okay. Right, Looming Death. Think it needs something but can't quite put my finger on what exactly. Well, we've got I'm going to assume again Alpha Legion Marine. That looks pretty cool. Look at this shot from the face. Okay, first things first. You can't see his face. It's very dark around the face, and so what you really need to do is bring up the eyes. If you make those eyes pop out, you'll have a lot more of a focal point there. It'll draw the eye, no pun intended, a lot more, and get a bit more snap. The other things that you could do with the bone there could do with some highlights. If you are a Patreon viewer, the Blood Angels Part 2, which is both up as a video and a series of written guides. There's one in there on how to paint bone. Actually, I'm not sure there's a written guide on how to paint bone. I don't know if you get some good photos from the video from it, but certainly the video has how to paint bone. Yours could do with a little bit more brightness, something to bring it out from the model a little bit. Other than that, everything you've done is okay. It's good. Get a base on it. That will help more than you think. This stream was a mistake. I have work I should be doing, but I just want to find a model to go paint. Well, Lem, I can't help you with that. It is what it is. Thank you for the follow there, dude. Really appreciate it. So yeah, pop out the bone a little bit more, get it more towards like a nice warm bone colour, like a warm bright white. Mouth White highlight would be the one that I would suggest to use, but whatever you've got. Good work though. Hull is done, and the graph plates now. We're going to be done once the model is complete. This is MC and his Impulsor. Nice, dude. Very, very clean so far. Whether he's going to change this a lot, I would assume. There's a lot of rivets on one of these things. Okay, we need to talk about your headlights. First off, they are better than a lot of commission painting ones, which is where they will take an airbrush and go, and you'll get a big like bubble of light, and that's totally not the way that light would be represented by a lit headlamp. You've at least thought about it and gone, lamp is like this, light goes out like that, therefore that's how it needs to be. But while you've got the thought in there, the execution unfortunately hasn't quite been what you wanted, I don't think. Looks like you've done it with a dry brush, and that's all well and good, but dry brushing does leave you with a very grainy, chalky finish, which is what you can see here, and light doesn't work like that either. The only way to paint something like this without an airbrush is by glazing it on. So take your paint, thin it down, and then paint many, many, many thin coats, carefully and slowly building up the opacity. For a guide on roughly how to do that, you can check out the video I did on how to paint white, 3 colors, no airbrush. That's over on YouTube. Because the same things that we've done in that video apply to this. Okay? If you're a Patreon, we did one on gold and glow, but that obviously uses an airbrush. If you're dry brushing your OSL, then you almost certainly don't have an airbrush, so that's going to be of less use to you. Things to think about. Your light source is the brightest thing. If it wasn't packed up in a box next to me right now, I'd show you the Abominant diorama we just did with it. It's all a study of light and how light interacts with a miniature, and the absence of light and how that interacts with a miniature. What you really need to do though is have a light that is at its brightest point on the bulb. The further you get away from that bulb, it decreases its like luminosity, its power, its glow, its impact on the surrounding area. And that's harder. So one of the ways you can do that is by having a duller color on the area around it. So maybe it manifests itself as a slightly orange yellow around the light source, and the closer you get to the light source, the more yellow, and then finally just a slight white yellow is what it becomes on the bulb itself. And that is very difficult to do, and it's certainly not something that a dry brush is like. Right here, look at that red off towards one side of his hat, that sort of moves through to a brighter orange all the way to yellow, and then you get the candle and that takes yellow and goes all the way up to a slightly white yellow. That's something else that you could do. Alright, so it's tough. I love everything else that you've done. That is a very, very difficult, very advanced technique you're trying to do there, and the medium you've chosen to try and express that technique, i.e. the dry brush, is not the right thing for it. There is a hell of a lot to learn, MC. I mean, if we take, like, here's your entry into mini painting down here, and then here is getting realistic highlights and realistic shadows on a miniature, just the normal stuff that you've done, and then here is your object source lighting. And think about the gulf between where you started miniature painting and just getting the good effect of light and shadow. That's not even halfway to how complicated this is. What you're having to do when you create a light source on a miniature is you're having to create an optical illusion that tricks somebody's brain to thinking that that part of the miniature is emitting light, which it clearly isn't. It's very difficult. Very, very difficult. You have to understand the way that light works on a practical environment. And one of the best ways to learn that is just to open your eyes and wander around. Have a look. Whenever you're sat in a room you've not been in before, think about the way the light is interacting with other things. If you're sat in a room and there's like some candles on a table, think about the way the candles interact with their surroundings and so on. Okay, but just through observation, you'll start to pick these up. Really good effort, really good attempt. I love the fact you've attempted it. How to improve, open your eyes. I mean, that's a really, really shitty way of saying what I was saying. But whether it's weathering, OSL, the effects of the environment on our miniatures, cloth, whatever. There's an example all around us. Here's some OSL. All of these little lights. Here's how something made out of glass reflects light. Here's how a matte black surface has a highlight and a shadow. Yeah? These things are all around us all the time. Timmy Shrews, better pick. That is a better pick. Darker recesses, much more saturation for me. Get some oranges or even some browns in there. That would work as well. MC, no worries, and you will. If OSL was easy, every single mini that everyone ever painted would have light effects all over the place, and playing 40k would be like being at a rave in the 90s. So, right, Glass Joe, still going on these Orks, man. Oi, how many is this now, brother? You've got to be hitting over 60? Must be, right? If I ever did an Ork hunt, it'd be nothing but buggies. Honestly, nothing but buggies. Speaking of buggies, remember, Patreon members of Video Viewer or Higher have the choice between winning either this or this Lord of Virulence if their name gets drawn out of the hat in tonight's competition. Especially put Patreon to join in for that. Also, for anyone that isn't a Patreon member, isn't a subscriber, whatever else, and obviously you can be those things and have a chance to win, we are giving away the prizes we didn't get to give away on the Necronathon stream. We've got the last one of Strata Miniatures, and he's just down there in the chat. Strata Miniatures token sets. We've got some objective markers, 6 of those, a score tracker and turn counter, and some measuring widgets, 1 for 3 inches away from the objectives, 2 for 3 inch, 2 inch, 1 inch, half inch, and as you can see, these have got a really nice pattern and texture. Exclamation point Scorp for that. Chance to win the Rival Crafts basing bundle and the Scorpec Lord. All three of these things, that's the prize. This. So 2 minis still to give away this evening. We'll do the Scorp draw in a couple of minutes past 12. Working on metal colours now. Mate, you've got so many. This is what puts me off an Ork army. I would totally do an Ork army just vehicles. Yeah, nothing but the race cars and the plane cars and all that shit. That's what I would do. No questions asked, no issues. Exactly that. Fuck painting 120 boys. Remnants, it's getting there. It is getting there. Those cables are much better now. Much better now. For the hammer, don't be afraid to get a little bit of a diffuse glow around the symbol. You know? The amount of wooden poles. Shot glasses for the win, bro. They stack. You know? But looking good, champ. Yeah, those cables are so much tidier now. That red's good as well. That pops out at you. Nice! Malex. Divox 2, just playing around with fun posing for a custom base. Nice. More Orks. That one, that's definitely had the shit kicked out of it. It's seen some things. Decent stab at Hazard Stripes. Yeah, not bad. overall, I do like this. I think there's a couple of things that I would have done different, but that's only because of my own painting style. Yeah, I kind of like what you're doing with it, dude. In fairness, with Orks paint stripe straight, for me it's more that the yellow is a little bit see-through in places, and I think that's just because there's been this weathered kind of patch over the top of it, which is why I didn't bring it up too much. But why wouldn't an Orc paint straight? Why wouldn't they? If you have Orcs that are able to create weapons that tear holes in the fabric of space to teleport smaller Orcs across the battlefield, why can't they paint a straight line? It's kind of racing stripes, right? Everyone wants to go faster. Get some racing stripes down on it. Kind of cheated? Not really. You've got a decent effect out of it. Like, there's been a lot of weathering there to cover up some of your cheatingness. Phoenix Miniature Art, how are you doing? Rub and buff makes for super easy weathering. It really does. There you go. See, there's nose. Phoenix Miniature Art, how are you? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for bringing your community over here. I don't believe I follow you, so I'm going to follow that shout-out link that Des just put in there. We'll ignore this ugly guy on the screen. Click the follow button, and then wow, that was kind of spooky. But yeah, there you go. Everyone else, do exactly what I've just done there. Get that follow. Inception. Absolutely. Holtz Transistor, how's it going? Hey mate, how's the stream going? Going well. How about you? How was your stream? What did you get up to? We've been working on finishing off these two. Our Grot Nickit just needs his base done, but we've got to get the powders out for that, and frankly, I didn't want to make a mess tonight, so we stopped just before then. But these two guys are done. Had lots of fun painting. We've got some extremely tragic 90s camo. We've gone with 2 different skin tones, and you can find out exactly how to do both of these skin tones on my YouTube. I just put YouTube and go and follow that link through. You see, we started on this one with a purple. I explained in the video how color theory allows us to use purple to shade green. Done one with the airbrush, one without. So this guy's just brush work, and you can see exactly how to do all of that in that video. But tonight we've got 2 giveaways to do. The first one's open to everyone, so all of you guys that have just joined in from Phoenix Miniature Art stream, !Scorp is your friend. Here's your prize. I'm gonna cover this up. You can win a basing bundle from Rival Crafts, which will contain some tufts that we're keeping a mystery, and 6 other things to help improve your bases. A Scorpic Lord from not the Necronathon we did this weekend, which we unfortunately failed in our task. We did 40 hours nearly of painting and didn't quite finish 4,000 points of Necrons. It's a shame. This guy is from the last Necronathon though, where we did stream for just over 40 hours. And he's part of the prize. And then this set of Necron-themed objectives, measuring widgets, and score counters from Strata Miniatures. Here's an example of some of these that I've painted up. A little bit of glow going on. We've got a couple of your measuring widgets. Here's one to measure 3 inches from an objective, for instance. So, if I win, you can raffle off tokens again. That sounds fine to me, bro. So that's the first of 2 minis we're giving away. The second one is exclusively to Patreon members of video viewer tier or higher. where you can win one of these two things, either the Shock Jump Dragster or the Lord of Virulence. Either one of these that you win, it will be painted by me in a color scheme of your choice. So Patreon for that. However, for now, we go through the work in progress gallery. And since we just got a load of new people, we'll leave this giveaway running for a little bit longer. And we'll continue checking out what people have been working on. Phoenix, if you want to put something of your work in here, by all means do so. !whip or !discord to come and join in. 3 pictures or less. We're working on the witches tonight. Incubi were mostly finished on the weekend, excluding some of the tiny details. We'll come back to those when I get some extra time. So, love the yellow on this. I'd probably go a little bit darker on the recessed shades for them. I'd find that orange that we talked about a few times already this evening. Maybe a sepia would work as well. Loving that skin tone though, mate. Keep these guys going. And here's those incubi. Very cool. I'm going to say something now and you're going to actually hate me. And I'm really sorry. I think these guys would look even better if they had some sort of like tribal marking on their armor. You've got loads of really flat, smooth areas. And I think maybe just on the like the yellow bandanas they've got flying off, some sort of rune. Maybe on their armor, a couple of like kill count stripes, that sort of thing. Just a couple of like little red or maroon sort of splashes here and there, just to break up what you've got. I think that would be perfect. What you've got looks great, like really great, but you've got all that area that's just open and flat and plain to do something on. And mix it up, do something a little bit different on each one, perhaps. End of the day, the incubi are all individuals, right? So, quality work there, man. Really, really tasty. Well done. Not sure if pictures are doing this, but the front of the blade looks extremely one color. Is it? Or is it just the light that's causing that? Still really like these though, man. Big fan of the horns. Alright, Crown Blade, moving on to you. Put out some goblins from Oathmark to use as opponents in Ranger of Shadow Deep, a co-op miniatures game. Okay. These definitely look like something you'd find running around Duratar level 1 as an orc. Picture a bit washed out, wasn't sure what to do, so we'll come back to them later. Okay, cool. Bit cool. Yeah, very desaturated look to them. Not bad, dude. Minis look kind of small in comparison to other stuff. Is that right? Not bad though, dude. Not bad. Paint all the goblin in one group. Find out I don't like batch painting. Don't talk to me about batch painting right now, after the Necronathon this weekend. Been on batch painting for a while. Right, Tyran. Oh, nice. Electro Priests. I like how you haven't gone for the super Blue Man group look to these guys. The good old Iron Man style electric tattoo could probably do it a little bit more, just to push it out from the mini a little bit. But I like the fact you've gone with a regular flesh tone. These look good. Solid. Also, I really like these models as well. Ugluk. Still some shadows needs to be done, and I have no idea how to make eyes on this dude. Eyes are tricky. They're just hard work. Currently, what you've given him is the expression of eternal surprise. Get some reference material. That's the main thing. Like, look at a normal person's eyes. You have a cornea that fills from the top to bottom of their... sorry, no. Cornea is the white bit. Iris. You have an iris that fills top to bottom of the cornea. So, really what you're looking for on your miniature's eyes is a white dot either side of something else. And so either you paint just the dot in the middle, or you paint the whole thing and you do 2 tiny white dots. Your choice. I know Damien Pedley uses a cocktail stick and dots that in. That's his pupil. Each their own. Fucking works for him, you know. So, but yeah, that's away. One quick thing though before we move on to the next pick in the whip. Speaking of eyes, the lenses you have on the helmet, you have you need to go back and do those ever so slightly, because the lenses that you've got, and this is extremely important when painting a Space Marine helmet, you need to paint just the flat of the lens, and you've gone ever so slightly down further past that. Essentially, if you see how on the lens, let's zoom in. If you take the red and repaint what was, I just use the top of my cheekbone as a reference, like just repaint that bit, that will just snap that into focus a little bit more. The other thing is, if you were to highlight the lens itself, you want to leave, what have I done this in? How to Paint Blood Angels Part 2 on Patreon, painting eye lenses. We do a pretty in-depth fucking talk about it on there, actually. That's a long video, that's like a half-hour video. I can't remember exactly where the lens is in the eye bit is. If you're a Patreon member, that's definitely the place to go. But basically, bring the red right up to the lens, because the helmet is the bit that extends past the lens. The lens sits in behind it, and that bit needs to have separation from this bit. You're as soon as you get it and you do it right, you'll know it. So much of a boomed window and a skin tone looks weird. Brilliant. Muffled screen, cheers for the follow. Adam Sadler. How many times have I called you that? I have no idea. Many, I think. Right. Nice. Nice. One of my favourite minis, this guy. I can't wait to paint my own. Muffled screen, thank you for the follow, by the way. We're going to give it another 5 minutes. 20 past 12, we'll do the draw for this. So if you would like to win a Scorpec Lord, Rovercraft Basing Kit, and some Strata Miniatures tokens, !Scorp in the chat. There you go. Look at the eyes on this guy. Let me just close down some of these windows quick. There we go. You've got bone helmet and then the eye. Yours could do with just, again, a little bit of bone coming just around here to just still retain the bone at the front. If you've gone for a glow-like effect, then you need to emphasize that just a little more than you have. But otherwise, solid work all over, mate. I do fucking love this miniature. I see somebody's been looking at the basing video, though. How to boost your bases. This guy have a Messerschmitt Reaver in his hand. I have no idea what you're talking about. It's a Crozius Arcanum, which is like a big Chaplain hitty stick. Apparently Chaplain Jay Butterworth painted up for me. Hey, well done, Jay. Right, Daddy Tubbs, put all my paints and dropper bottles, give the hobbyist a clean. It didn't take me 48 hours either. Well, just as well. And you say clean. I mean... Clean? All those dark shadows on the wall. Sort of like, gets better highlights back there. Cake Fisk, first attempt at OSL with a brush. I might have overdid it, and yeah, it needs a bit of a cleanup. Yes. To both. Also, some of your angles are off as well, I think. So, if the... We talked about this earlier on, so we don't want to go over it like in full. Oh. Fair enough, Uglup. I totally didn't know. The thing is emitting the light source, being the vents, I'd imagine, on his chest plate there, they needed the brightest thing. And you've got a similar value across everything. Also, you've got different finishes there. So you've got like different metals that would all maybe interact with the light a different way. And that makes it extremely difficult to do something like this. The OSL that my Necrons have had done is a very quick airbrush thing. We've still yet to do the highlights for it. It's very stylized rather than realistic. I'm not entirely certain that guy's entire like top arm is going to have the orange down there, especially when the other side has just the merest glint of it. I don't think they work up the way they should do. Right, faces and bases. Calling these guys finished. First go with Weathering Pigment taken from a Chaplain bike basing video. Yes. Now those are some fucking good bases. These cow elves look absolutely 100% better than the Heavy Metal Team ones. Choice of colour, vibrancy, everything. These are brilliant. This is how they should have painted the cow elves. And those bases perfectly round them off. Love the tattoos that your owl person's got, by the way. Or the face paint, at least. See, that soft effect where the ground and the rocks merge together, just done through pigment. Basing videos a game changer, mate. Hand highlighted, no dry brushing. Definitely no dry brushing. Why would you dry brush your bases? There's no point. I painted 467 miniatures last year. I dry brushed one model's base just to show you how to dry brush on stream. That's it. So did 466 miniatures without dry brushing their bases. Go and watch that video. It's on YouTube, exclamation point YouTube. Go to my channel. Go to tutorial videos because it's easy to find it there, and search for it. Simple steps to boost your bases. Anyone can do bases like this without an issue. Promise you. Wrong button. Phoenix. Oh, I know this one. Yeah. This is cool. Oh, God. I think Sergio did this. There's been a couple of people quite famously painting this. Are you doing it monochrome, or is this just getting in like a value layer, or what? Tom, I don't dislike them. In fact, in that range is one of my favourite minis that I want to paint. I haven't had a chance to paint it yet. The Leviathan Turtle is something I am desperate to paint one day, but there's so much you can do with that. The rest of them, I'm a bit meh, but I don't do Sigma. I only play 40k. Paint some of the Sigma minis. Going to be painting one next month. We've got the people have said his name to me like 4 times in the stream. Rykenor, the horse man dead dude. What do you find Spacing video? Exclamation point YouTube. That's my YouTube channel. Go and give us a sub there. You get content every other week in terms of a traditional like video. Here's what to do, and all the stream VODs go up there as well. Grimhaler, that's it. Right. We're nearly done. All right, we'll do the rest of it. Damn! Fuck me. That's beautiful. That is absolutely on point. Color shift paints, yeah or nay? I don't like them. For me, I want my highlights and shadows and my change of hue to be exactly where I've put it on the model, and not where whatever light for the room I'm in decides it should be. That is incredible. I love that skin tone. The expression on his face, the eyes, you have absolutely smashed them. All the weathering on the armor is absolutely on point. I'm not entirely sure that the freehand star you've got going on there is... Let's pop back to this. I don't know if that needed to be darker before it was weathered. Tommy, exclamation point Discord or exclamation point Whip, you'll get a link. But I love what you've done here. That face is so good, and the super high contrast on the red as well for the sort of like hood that he's wearing is brilliant. Loads of different textures. Fantastic work. Well done. It's just confusing in the end. I wish the blue was a bit more. No, I don't think so. If it was, then you'd have this massive pull away from the red. I like the fact that it's kind of faded out. For me, I just think that the symbol, the star and the sort of horseshoe-shaped looking thing around it, was just a little bolder and then weathered. Because for me, like in my head, the immediate story for this is obviously this is a guy who is, I'm going to say, some sort of ex-military, spent a lot of time in the outdoors under the sun, hence the deeply tanned skin that he's got. And at some point this armor would have been brand new issue, and when it was brand new issue, then it would have been very sharp edges on that logo. That would have been the insignia for his corps that he's with, or whatever. Isn't it amazing how even just like it's a bust with no arms, so it's like a quarter of a miniature, can just tell you a story like that. We did the 3-hand 3 times. Shit. 3-hand's tough. What I think is amazing is that what we call freehand, that we take great pride in doing. Any other artist anywhere ever in the world just calls art. That's the thing for me, right? Is it something that we just like push up in our head and like make it a little bit more complicated than it needs to be? Is it really difficult? I don't know. I was always told I was terrible at art, and my art teacher asked me to drop the course and told me I'd never amount to anything when it came to art. So, you know, do I know what I'm talking about? Probably not. But this is incredible. Very, very well done. Beautiful work. Strata, finished 1k of Skyrim with my conversion sets. Nice, dude. Gotta say, the texture effect you've got on that brick wall is incredible. Next level. Fucking hell, is they all globadiers? God, I had loads of those back in the days when they were metal. Nice though, dude. Look, they're throwing little balls of cheese. Also got gaming at the office. No way. God, I wish. I wish. Your own printed arms. Nice. Ghost Boys versus Orc Boys. I do like the Cabbage Dragon. He's one of my favourite Sigmar minis. Right, it's going to be time. Exclamation point Scorp in the chat now to enter. Yeah, I like him, dude. I also like the fact you went for like frost armored orcs and didn't do their skin blue. Like, I really like that. I've seen so many people copy Dana Howell's. I've got a blue orc in blue armor, and I see so much of it that is not good. And I much prefer this style. So, well done, dude. Right, that's it. Get yourself in. Exclamation point Scorp. If you would like to win, you don't need to be a subscriber or anything. A Rival Crafts basing bundle, a pack of tokens from Strata Miniatures, and this Scorpec Lord from the first Necronathon. Let's get a good in-focus pick of him. If you'd like to win all of these things, exclamation point Scorp. Get in. We're not going to do a roll call. If you're... Sorry, Scorp. If your name isn't in the hat, you've had plenty of notice. And do the drawing in 10 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and done. Close giveaway. Ho, 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 ho. Jerry, you just got in there at the end. And I'm sorry, Divox, you did not. I feel mean. Go on, do it again. Get in. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on, go on, go on, go on, go on. I'm not going to count down again, but you've got to get in there quick or I'm going to close the giveaway. Okay, looks like you're already in. Fucking brilliant. Okay, giveaway's closed again. The winner is... Masked Sol. So, not a name I've seen before. Somebody new has won. Congratulations. He's here! So, Masked Sol, what I need from you is for you to jump over to Discord and send me a personal message on Discord telling me your name and address, and most importantly, formatting the address the same way you would on an envelope or a parcel that you were sending in your country. Because I don't understand how addresses are formatted in most countries. I barely understand this one, if I'm honest. And so definitely something I need from yourself, please. That way I can get your winnings out to you in short order. So in fact, here are your winnings. Now what we'll do is we will open and look at this whilst I set up the Patreon giveaway. Now I can't show you guys the screen because it contains... damn it, we're not logged in. It contains information that is sensitive. Can't dox anyone. My phone is about to run out of battery, but I think we just got here in time for... yeah. Authentication code is in. Right, so let's have a look in this basement bundle. So in here, we've got the straw tufts. Oh, you knobhead, I know why. I think I'm logged in with the wrong account. I did this last time as well. That's better. Right, home screen. Yeah, here we go. So, 4 new Patreons as well. So thank you very much to people that have joined in tonight. Dreadfear, they're all unique. They're all unique. Relationship manager. And current tier, sort by. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. We've got 40 people that qualify video viewer or higher. So what I'm going to do is going to do a random number. 0, well, no, I need to be 1 to 40. And that random number is 20. Oh, you can't see it. It's 24. I can't move the screen because you'd see what's underneath. So, the 24th person on the Patreon list. So that's 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. Is Liam Back, who I believe is in the stream. No. Okay. Unlucky. He's not in the stream, but that's fine. So what we'll do, I will go and send him a message on whatchamacallit? Is that him. Let me just double check through Patreon. Discord is Liamski. Yeah. Wait, unless... No, he's not in the stream. Cool. Right, Liamski, all yours. That's it then for tonight, guys. Well done. So, big congrats to both of our winners. One that was here, one that wasn't, but that's kind of the way it goes sometimes to the Patreon one. In this box, we've got some Lichen Old Green. Goes well with our slightly desaturated tufts there. We've got some small stones from the ballast. We've got some medium-sized stones as well. We've got some particulate powder sandstone. So this is extremely good for doing your bases, because this is actually in keeping with the scale with a 28mm mini on a base. We've got some coarse sand and some fine sand as well. So we've basically got here kind of a rocky beach front with some sun-bleached kind of vegetation and some grass that's really not doing so well anymore. But I really like that. That's a cool kit. So again, huge thank you to Sarah at Rival Crafts for coming up with these basing kits. Exclamation point Rival. If you'd like to get yourself some Rival Crafts gear, there's a discount code for 6% off your order as well. So go and check them out. 3 tap outs at the same time. Hey, it's all good. We're going to finish off now anyway and go and raid. So stay tuned. We'll pass on the hobby love. When we get there, I need all of you to be extremely rowdy and throw, like constantly throw emotes into this person's channel. Who shall we go and raid? Let's see. What's Stick Mike doing? He's doing some joint stream. Could be a game, not sure. Tell you what we do. Go browse. Go search by miniature figures. Love stream as always, man. Take care, bro. Thank you very much for being here. Who we got? Slow Fuse is on. Cutthroat Cure. We raided him not long ago though, so let's pass around the hobby love. Jack of Clubs is on. Who else is on that needs some viewers? We're the most watched channel tonight. This is good. I like this. Doesn't always happen. Let's see. Who's doing something cool that we haven't looked at for a while? Someone's doing some D&D, not so fussed on that. Someone else is playing some games. Split Brush Studio is painting Leonardo from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Kind of dying for that. Battle Pixie. Okay. Warhammer on Tuesday. Painting some Necron Boys and Contest Prep. Fuck it. Why not? When we get there, like I said, guys, throw out those emotes. Leave them absolutely no... That didn't work. There you go. Leave absolutely no illusion from where you come from. Want nothing but meeps, mystery boxes, Jay and Yondu emotes thrown in the channel. Do it. Next stream is Thursday night, where the voting starts on what army we're going to be raffling off as part of our stream birthday celebration in April. We're also going to hopefully be able to kick off working on the Undead Man or either of those two minis as well. So, we'll see you Thursday. Peace out, everyone.